Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Good evening, lovely people. I hope you're well. Welcome back to another Monday night live show. And as always, guys, when we get behind this mic, all that we ask is that you subscribe, comment, and like. Fellas, it is hot outside.
Bro,
what are you guys doing?
in fact, you know what? I'll let this video do the talking. I've done it earlier on today. That for those that might have seen the Summer Daily News Show, make sure you go and watch that as well after this year. If the weather was a person, this is what I'll be saying to the weather right now.
Come them big in your mama. You suck your mama. Me ready for run down your blood clot and gunshot you in this.
Bruv. If the weather was a person, you know why? Nobody's sleeping tonight, bro. Nobody.
No, I am.
Two fans on me. I've got two fans.
But
on me.
I've got two fans as well. But still, though, man.
As you lot can't hear the fan, can you?
No.
Yeah, as you lot know, I had to go and get a new one today. I'm not gonna lie, it's a beauty. I'm gonna sleep all right. I'm gonna sleep all right. You know, you gotta get the tower ones. That's the ones you gotta get. You gotta get.
Imagine I'm in a conservatory. I've got two fans. And look what I'm having to put on on my back to cool me down.
That is mad, you know.
I am moving
That is
mad. This is what the weather's doing.
Mad.
This is what the weather's doing. See a couple.
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
A couple weeks now, you lot been getting on to me about the. I know. I'm back. I'm back. What do you lot want from me? I'm back. You lot tried to doubt me. You lot got on to me.
Bro, I think we all doubted you.
If you don't believe me then, do you believe me now?
Finally.
Hey, look at me, I got waves flats. I'm doing the Virgil thing at the moment. Hey. Look at it.
Bro, I can't lie. It's been a minute since we've seen you like this still. Now you're looking fresh, bro. You're looking fresh.
When come back home, she's like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, you go get some." Oh, you want that third baby now, huh? You want that third baby now, huh?
I was just gonna make a joke, but his wife said I wouldn't make it. It's too inappropriate.
Yeah, no, I'm back. I needed it. Do you know what? Shout out to Icon Barber. Shout out to Vinny and Rich. When I got there, I felt like I was at home again. Like I needed this. Showering, could feel the water hit my scalp again. It felt good, man. It felt good. I'm sleeping with a do-rag again. Look at me. It feels good.
Bruv, I am super, super happy for you, but I beg you stop talking about having it. Although, you know what, I'm not gonna lie, today when I was at the park and the missus was rubbing the suntan lotion on my head, I did think to myself, having hair in this heat must be a nightmare.
Bruv,
I can't lie, it must be a nightmare having hair in this heat. Still.
Mad. And here's the killer. Like, shout out to the missus because she plats my hair in it. Next time I go gym or go for a run or stuff, my hair's just gonna go frizzy, and she's gonna have to redo it. And I know I'm gonna have to. Like, I might have to run her a bath or something, butter her up a little bit. You know what I mean? So, like, it's a bit mad.
Oh, you know, this is when I know who's who and what's what. Everyone in the chat, throw up a 1 if you have a cold bath or shower during this time, or throw up a 2 if you still have a hot bath regardless or a hot shower regardless. I just want to gauge where people are going with this one right now. I have a cold bath in this weather, you know, Kyle. I can't even lie.
Oh,
yeah, bro. Can't lie. Can't have the heat on you in this weather, bro. Cold. Or lukewarm at the most, you know, like.
Nah, I'm not doing cold.
I don't mean ice freezing cold, but the type of cold, if it was winter, you wouldn't even dare do it. You know, that kind of.
No, I'd say I'm still having a warm shower. But as soon as I get out of the shower, I'm in front of the fan. Pause.
Rob, nothing.
Like,
Enough man still having the hot baths and showers, yeah?
no, I wouldn't say
Bruh.
mine's a hot bath, but it's warm. It's warm. It's definitely not cold.
That's mad. If you have a hot bath or shower, when you come out, you are sweating. It's like you feel like you don't even had a bath. Mad.
I said, look what I'm rolling with. This one's melted. I had to go for the other one. I got this. I sleep with this. I sleep with one of these. We've got about 8 in the freezer. I sleep with this.
That's mad.
Rest up my chest, bro. Have to. This weather's no joke. But people, we have got some good juicy topics for you guys to hear us speak about this evening. It might sound a bit regurgitated, but we're hitting it from a different angle because I think it's only right. And yeah, one of the last question I think is going to be a bit of a head scratcher, and we'll see where we get to. But guys, as always, make sure you keep it respectful in the comments to one another. We will read out your super chats when there was a natural pause, as well as other comments that are relevant as well. So please don't think that we don't see your super chats and that we don't appreciate it. We just wait for a natural pause in the conversation. So let's get into the first topic, a topic that we've spoken to you guys about, but going to hear it from a slightly different angle now. So let's get into it. Now, Klopp's come out and he's been very vocal, but he's also said other things in terms of if someone goes, we may have to do some work, etc. So it's got me thinking. Everyone keeps on saying it's Bellingham next summer, it's Bellingham next summer. And fair enough, it might be. But I still don't think we can ignore this summer. And I keep on feeling as though one of the midfielders are going to go. And yes, I know that will still leave us with a lot. But I think Klopp's shown that he only really trusts 5 midfielders. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the 5. And the midfield 5 I think he trusts is Hendo, Thiago, Flacco, Milner, and Keita. I think Keita could potentially go. If a new contract isn't reached, I don't see us letting him walk for free. And as things stand right now, I don't think a contract has been reached or looks like it's imminent. So, again, if we were to sell Naby Keita, I don't think we get loads of money. However, one name that keeps on popping up, whether it be linked to us, linked to West Ham, linked to Wolves, linked to Chelsea, and that is of Mateus Nunes. The drift, I ask you, is there a possibility that we could lose Keita and or Ox this summer, replace them with Nunes this summer, and then next summer still go and get Bellingham? And if we were to do that, would you be happy with that?
So Ox would go now.
Ox and Naby would go now.
And we'd get Nunes.
Yeah.
And then Bellingham would be the one. Yeah, I'd be very happy with that. I think that would actually be perfect. I actually think that would be perfect. Because without any disrespect to Naby or Ox, as long as Nunes comes in and plays the way he has done at his previous club, which is all you can hope he does, he'd probably play more games and be more available than both of them two. I'm not going to be disrespectful and say put together, but when you look at the fact that both of them were only available for around, or both of them only played, was it about 1,500 minutes roughly each last season, innit, when you went through that list? If you think about the fact that the two of them didn't even play as much football as Henderson put together, I think that says a lot, innit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So as long as nothing horrible happened, which obviously you'd always hope and cross your fingers it wouldn't happen, I think Nunes would probably play more football than the both of them put together. So I don't actually see why it would necessarily be a bad thing to lose 2 to bring in 1. Especially now we can play Carvalho in midfield and Elliott, thankfully, is back and fit again. I think Nunes, I think it would be worth the risk and then wait for a year for Bellingham. Yeah, that would be perfect.
I was going to ask another question, but shout out to Jamrock. That's not a title-winning midfield group. So I just want to run through the names if this were to happen. So we'd have Flacco, Hendo, Thiago, Nunes, Elliott, Milner, Morton, and potentially Carvalho and Jones. Still having the 9. Do you think that could get us over the line with the title drift?
Yeah. 100%. I'm not saying we definitely would win it, but Henderson, Nunes, Thiago, and Flacco as a 4 is quality. That is quality. And then what you hope is that Carvalho continues his Fulham form, which is a risk, but we still know he's capable because we've watched it happen. You just have to hope he can translate it from the Championship to the Premier League. Elliott, to his credit, before the ankle injury, was playing brilliantly in that midfield role as well. So we would hope he could regain that level as well. And Jones, if we kept him, which I would do if Naby and Ox both went, I wouldn't loan him out then I would keep him. We all know Jones is capable. He needs games to prove it, but he is capable. So I think you look at the main four and then you look at what the backups were. Yeah, because, and again, without being disrespectful, and I want everybody to know, we might make the jokes and all that kind of stuff just to keep the mood light and that, but it's never actual disrespect whenever we talk about Naby or Ox, but we just have to be honest. The two of them don't do enough for it to matter. They're just there. And I don't want to make that sound disrespectful, but I hope you get what I mean. Like, if you take away the 3 or 4 performances that Naby had last season that were brilliant, I'm not even going to say were good, were brilliant. He had a couple of brilliant games last season. But you take those maybe 3 or 4 brilliant games away, and he was still very average for the other games. I mean, we played
disingenuous because I think if you say that about Henderson as well, you could say that as well.
Yeah, I think Henderson has some but I just think he had more good performances than Naby. But yeah, it's some very average ones as well.
I think it's unfair to take away the outstanding performances from both, though, because they did.
No, I'm not taking it away. I'm saying if you look at it, the fact it was a small amount, I'm saying if they were to go, what you're trying to fill in, I think is an accomplishable thing. That's what I mean. Like, even if you was to say 10 very good to excellent games from Naby across the whole 64 games we played, that's still 54 games where he wasn't above average. Do you get what I mean? That's not that difficult to fill in, is it? Really? And again, I don't mean it with any disrespect. I'm just being honest. Like, Naby didn't have more than 10 very good games or above last season.
Younes, you're taking liberties, by the way, Younes. Well done, Younes. I'll let you have that. Well done.
So, yeah, hopefully people understand where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I don't think Naby had more than 10 very good games or above last season. And we played 64 games last year. So it's not that difficult to replace him. And Ox probably had less very good to excellent games than Naby last season, even though he filled in well in January. So replacing both of them is, if Nunes had 15 very good or above performances in a Liverpool shirt, he's already done what Naby and Ox combined did last year in terms of, you know what I mean, really not outstanding, but like noticeable performances.
I don't know. Me personally, I think if Nunes were to come in and replace, I'm not even going to be disrespectful to Ox, but you effectively replace Naby. Now, obviously, you can bring in form and fitness and stuff, which is the unpredictable stuff. But I've got to look at it from an optimistic view that everyone will be all right for most of the season. A starting midfield 3 of Flacco, Nunes, and Thiago, for me, gives us the edge in the title race as things stand right now.
That's a quality 3.
I think that would Nunes is kind of the player that we're missing in terms of someone who can get the ball drive and be press resistant. He can let off shots. He's got an eye for a pass.
Box to box.
I think he's that guy we're missing in midfield. Plus, then you still got your likes of your Elliott, your Jones, who can still develop, and you still got Milner there with a bit of experience. Obviously, Henderson as well. So,
but Carvalho, I think Carvalho is the one that could play a big role in that midfield. You know,
I really don't. I know he's played there a couple of times he's played both left wing and midfield. I think we'll see him maybe rotate between the two, but I still see him being like the backup for Diaz, effectively the main backup for Diaz this season. I almost feel him and Harvey will do. I think they'll do both roles, unfortunately.
I mean, the 2 preseason games so far that he's played, maybe about an hour in total, he's played centrally, Cal. He hasn't played wide yet.
If I'm not mistaken, some of them, wasn't it the Palace game where he played on the left, started on the left?
No, I'm sure he was still down the middle, bro. I'm sure he was still
played
down
some
the
games
middle.
on the left.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting.
So the risk in all of this is obviously the Bellingham. So let's say, for example, in an ideal world, Nunes comes in this summer. The wait would be for Bellingham. Do you think the risk of waiting for Bellingham is too high? And if so, is there another midfielder you'd want us to try and get instead, realistically?
It wouldn't be a risk to wait for Bellingham, in my opinion, if Nunes came in. No, I wouldn't have a problem then, because I think Nunes would be able to hold enough of the weight on his shoulders. And then that would mean that we'd get Bellingham at a much easier fee with probably less resistance from Dortmund, which would make it a bit more of a smoother transfer. So yeah, ideally, I would want 2 midfielders now, but you can't buy 2 midfielders now and then get Bellingham, because 3 new midfielders within a 12-month span would mean we'd have to get rid of one of the main players, which I wouldn't do. I don't think Klopp would do either.
I don't think 3's pushing it personally.
But then that would mean
I don't think it would happen, by the way. Sorry to cut you. I don't think it would happen, but I don't think if we're losing Ox, Milner, Naby, and we're still not convinced about Jones, and if Carvalho is going to be playing as a left winger sometimes as well, and with Hendo and Thiago, actually, I don't think 3 is overkill. 3 in one window is overkill. I don't think 3 over the span of 12 months would be, though, considering who and what we'd be losing.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm talking as a guy who knows FSG won't do that.
Can't keep on saying this FSG, bro.
Oh no, that would be that, because that's a lot of money to buy 3 new midfielders. So that would be on FSG.
Klopp also has a say in it as well. Klopp could turn around and say, "I want 3 new in straight away."
Yeah, no, but Klopp had a say in Wijnaldum and they didn't give him a contract, so it works both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that was kind of down to the agent and Wijnaldum's team as well. We can't sit here and say FSG.
They just wouldn't pay him what he wanted, bro. So
yeah, but that's negotiation, bro. But we can't sit here. The other way is they gave Hendo what he wanted, and Klopp wanted to keep Hendo as well. But surely that him saying that, though, if he wanted to keep Hendo, if he wanted to keep Wijnaldum, he wanted to keep all these players, who's to say he actually does want any more midfielders then? Because if he wanted to keep these, when there was an argument to say that, even though I didn't agree, that you let Genie go and you bring in some fresh blood, you maybe let Hendo run down his contract, bring in some fresh blood. Again, not things I'm saying I think we should do, but we can't sit here and say it's just on FSG. I think Klopp plays a big role in who we get.
No, he does, but I think if we bought 3 midfielders in 12 months, you're probably looking at around £170 million. That's FSG. Would they fund that?
I don't know if it'd be that much, but again, it wouldn't just be FSG funding it. It'd be through player sales as well.
Bellingham would be 70 mil, in it, roughly. We got to be.
I'd say 80.
Well, that's even more, and then that would mean the other midfielders would be 45 each, which is very.
I think Nunes is available for 35.
All right, well, it would still be somewhere around 150 then, isn't it?
Yeah, around 150. Yeah,
that's a lot. So that would be on FSG, and I'm not even saying on FSG I'm saying they're doing anything wrong. I just mean it's really down to the ownership. If you spend a amount of money that big, that's a lot of money. So
it's not necessarily, because Klopp could turn around and say, "Oh, I like the look of Curtis Jones and I like the look of Morton. I'm going to let them fill in these roles." It's not beyond the realms of possibility, bro. You've seen Klopp do some stuff. Can't keep on saying this on the owners. They're all in bed together, bro.
Look. We spent about 2 hours on this last time, so we won't go down that road.
I'm just saying the facts are there to show they're all in bed together.
What is this? One roll over and we all fell out or something?
Everyone falls out or everyone gets into bed at the same time, bro. They're attached. Can't get one.
How did that nursery rhyme go again? Roll over. Yeah. Roll over.
They're all in it together. But is there an alternative to Bellingham? Let's say, for example, we got Nunes in now and 12 months later, Bellingham's head gets turned by another club. Is there another midfielder you'd want us to go for?
Yeah, Barella.
Is he the only one?
Yeah, there's not many, Cal, because all the other ones are gone now. Camavinga's gone now. Tchouameni's gone now. Basuma's gone now. There's not many, you know, all the ones I liked, they're all now gone, innit? Like other clubs have got them. So I'm sitting, I'm thinking, hey, there ain't met. Like, yeah, I'm hearing Paqueta might be going to bloody Arsenal now.
Again, not even to disrespect Arsenal. It might happen, but I'd be surprised if he goes there.
He'd be stupid, and I'm not even being shady. He would be stupid. His next step needs to be a club that's in the Champions League. I don't see the point in him leaving Lyon to go to a club that's in the Europa League. Like, you know what I mean? To me, that doesn't make... I mean, maybe he's thinking long-term, but that would be a bit stupid. But Edu's got the Brazilian pool, so it might happen. You never know, innit?
Yeah.
Apart from Paqueta, there's no one else. I mean, yeah, I would take Paqueta, actually, yeah. Barella or Paqueta, those will be the two players who I would take.
I don't think Paqueta can play in the midfield 3, though. Not in
our... I think... It's a tough one, isn't it? I think he can, but I'm not going to argue with anybody who thinks that he might not. But I think he can. Based on the role he plays for Lyon, I think he could play an advanced 8 for us. Because you got to remember, when you're playing with Flacco and Thiago, you are essentially allowed a little bit more freedom attacking-wise if you're the third midfielder. So I think he would be fine if he was that third midfielder.
I actually think there's quite a few midfielders out there, but they're just not glamorous names. Like, I do like Jacob Ramsey, for example, from Aston Villa.
Would you say he's good enough, though?
So who? Jacob Ramsey?
At this stage of his career, would you say he's good enough, though?
I rate Jacob Ramsey. I'm not going to lie. I do.
Because, bro, I said it before, and I know people didn't necessarily think it was a wild take, which I was happy with, but I'm not even sold on Bellingham. Like, the kid does have the type of potential that makes him look like he could be an absolute superstar, but at the same time, to pay 80 million for him, I don't know, you know, Cal. I don't know. I'm still a bit and ahhing about whether 80 mil for Bellingham is even a good idea. Do you know what I mean? Like,
would you? What about Maddison?
Oh, for the right price, I'll take Maddie. Yeah, I love Maddie. Maddie's my guy. Yeah.
What's the right price in your opinion?
At this stage of his career, I'd probably say about 40. I think more than 40, and because he's only got 2 years left on his contract, and he is a little injury prone now. He had a brilliant season last year, but that was off of the back of about 18 months of horrid injuries. So there is a risk with Maddie in that regard, and we know what it's like having injury-prone midfielders, isn't it? So the last thing we want to do is buy another guy who's got that possibility. But talent-wise, you know I love Maddie. I think Maddie's better than Grealish. Yeah, I'll take Maddie.
I actually don't know about James Maddison. I just feel as though he's very inconsistent.
I think Leicester are very inconsistent now, bro.
Yeah, but even though the team might be inconsistent, you can still get consistent players in the team.
He was very consistent last year, to be fair to him.
He wasn't, bro. He went on purple patches. He does the whole purple patch thing, and the injury record is kind of mad as well.
Think about how poor Leicester were, though, in the first half of last season. I think he did well, considering how bad the team was playing.
No, he kind of does it every season. Every season, he has a period where he's fantastic, and then he just goes for a slump. And it's peak and troughs with him. There's no kind of that steady...
Would you take him, though? Would you take Maddie?
There's more upside than downside to Maddison, so probably I would. Set pieces, eye for a goal, eye for a pass...
Shooting from
distance. Defensively,
Maddison would homegrown.
Yeah.
Maddie would be for 40 mil. Maddie would be a brilliant signing, bro.
Yeah, brilliant. As I said, the person that we should have got is at Spurs now, but we can't look back at that. But that is the person we should have got. Like we get him, and I genuinely believe we're not even having a conversation right now.
Like, say we woke up tomorrow and we heard we're signing Nunes and Maddison for a combined 85 mil or a combined 80 mil. I'll be over the moon, bro. I'll be over the moon.
I think most of the fan base would be. I'd be very shocked if the fan base weren't. I'd be very shocked if the fan base.
I think there would be a couple of people that would Umanara over Maddie. I think, and I can see from the chat, a lot of people agree with me and they do rate Maddie. I think there would be a couple people that will be a little skeptical about Maddie because of the injuries.
I think is fair. I think it's fair to have those reservations.
Yeah. The injuries and that maybe. I would the injury, but it did seem like he was over the injuries in the second half of last season. But you never know, innit? But even just as an option, like basically, Maddie would replace Ox as the homegrown player, and in quite. not necessarily similar, but maybe a little bit of that similar kind of mold. And then Nunes and Naby are a little bit similar in mold as well, isn't it? Like they're meant to be box to box dribblers kind of thing. I'm not saying they're literally the same, but they're both box to box dribbling. Because remember, the Naby that we thought we were getting, bro, was a drive with the box, very offensive, press resistant. I know, but that's who we thought we were getting, though, bro, innit? Like that was what we thought we were getting.
If Naby stays, here's a conundrum. Because if Naby stays, Naby has to effectively be the starter on the right hand side of midfield, in my opinion. But for me, if Naby stays, he should. What do you know? Do you know? Hold that, because that's going to be the last topic of the show. We're not going to get into that yet. Almost went too fast. Let me hit up some of these super chats first. Shout out to Jimbo, just become a member, guys. If you'd like to become a member, do hit the link in the description. And shout out to Sean who's become a member as well. Big up yourself, Sean. You've been rocking with us for a while now. Much appreciated. AD says, "What up, people? Cal, you missed the doo-doo section. What happened?"
Yeah, you did. That bro, your face looks hella confused.
Yeah, yeah.
I have no idea how. I have no idea how, but it came up about shitting yourself on the last show after you left on Friday. And then I asked Matt if he knows about Gary Lineker. Do you know about where Lineker shit himself on the pitch? Yeah. And then from there, it was about 20 minutes of us just laughing and joking about what would you do if you shit yourself on the football pitch.
Oh, that's... Is there any context around it? As in, like, are you ill? Did you just mistime something?
Well, with Lineker, he had a bad belly in it, so we were like, surely you've got to know, what would you do? And then Matt was talking about it was a cup celebration. If it was still in your pants, would you go and lift the trophy? It got a bit peak still.
If it's a cup celebration, surely you got a little chance to just go back to the dressing room, run out, come back commando shorts, and just wipe thoroughly in it. Surely.
Would you do a dog? Would it be dog settings? Would you wipe your bum across the grass real quick and get up? There was loads of things that came up, bro. It was it was peak.
Only on Kop-Ish, people. You can't make this stuff up. Bajan Bar, big up Bajan Bar, says, big up fellas. Cal, wifey said to you this morning, you better get that hair right or sleep on the couch. No, do you know what? I was getting it left, right, and center. Mum was on to me, my brother was on to me, friends and family. So yeah, I'm back now, man. What did you go say now, huh? I'm back.
I'm not gonna lie. If wifey ever made man sleep on the leather sofa tonight, you'd actually die of dehydration. It's a fact.
Yeah, bro, I'd be done. I'd have to work on the couch in the same position because I'd be stuck to it.
Yeah. If you ever slept on a leather sofa in this heat, you would die of dehydration. That's a fact.
Put it this way: if I was sleeping on the couch and someone broke into the house, I wouldn't even be able to save anyone. Put it back.
I would be more like, in this heat, really, bro? Really? Yeah. Just watching him take everything, like, really, bro?
Man. I'd literally say to him, bro, I can't get you right now. Just take off the balaclava. You're gonna hurt yourself, man. It's too hot for that. Let your face breathe.
Baby pit, brother. Fucking hell, bro. What's the I take it out of the frame, brother. Leave the picture, bro. You don't need to take the picture, bro. What the hell, man?
Shout out to Chainsaw. DH has become a YouTube member. Chainsaw, I'm out.
Big up all the members. Big up, man. Big up.
I'm out the basement with Chainsaw as well. I finally saw your DMs. Rion says Dewsbury Hall over Madison, better fit, I think. Dewsbury, I rate him,
Yeah, but I don't think he's as talented as Madison, no.
No, he's not as talented. He might fit us better, though.
I do get that. I get that argument, but I would want Maddie just purely based on ability. Madison, I know the last 18 months for him were very poor in comparison to how great he was at the level he was at before. But I don't let recency bias ever creep in with a player where I've seen the true talent. That's why whenever people have the conversation about Grealish, I'm like, look, Grealish is good. I don't have a problem with Grealish. But I said when it was an Aston Villa Leicester argument, even before he went to City, Maddison is more talented than Grealish for me personally. And as long as you can get Maddison back to a level, I think it'd be a brilliant signing. So
I don't know if I agree with that one, Drift.
and remember, that was the argument we used to have. We used to have that argument. Like,
I rate Maddison. I just Grealish is a baller, man. Grealish is that player. I know they didn't show it at City for a variety of reasons. If you need someone to take the game by the scruff of the neck, Grealish could be that guy still.
I don't know, you know.
100%.
All right, here's what I would use as a separation between the two. I think Grealish is a better Maverick, but I think there's enough Maverick in Maddison to still have a game-winning moment. But I think Maddison follows instructions better. That would make him a better Klopp player than Grealish.
I don't even know if the instruction. I mean, Grealish followed his instructions under Pep to a T last season. To be fair,
yeah, and then he was not effective hardly ever.
I don't think that was his fault though.
Yeah, but we still can only go off of what we saw, right? And he wasn't really effective. I know it was his first season at City, so I'll give him a bye. I won't be like everyone else who will like really, really get on his back and make it out like he's crap. Like, I don't think he's crap. Of course he's not crap. But when you take him out of a team where he's allowed to do what he wants and then you put him in a system that's structured, he did look quite ineffective for about 80% of the season. So this is a big season for him. Jackie boy, this is a big season for you, bruv. Especially now Sterling's gone. It's a big season for Jack.
I do think he'll have a big season. Bajan Barnes says, so Cal, if Grealish has another season like that, is he a flop? I believe so, yes. You'll have to label that. Go true, Matt, bro.
Jack Grealish, this season for me kind of defines his kind of career, so to speak, because like Bajan just says, if he doesn't at least have a good season, and let's just say, for example, he was to get sold the following season, he goes down as one of the most high-profile flops. It might not necessarily be name, but you definitely have to go by value, what Man City paid for. The thing is, though, Jack Grealish, I think, is a talented player. However, as much as I rate him, is he more style than substance? Is it because he takes men on and he's a bit of a maverick is as to why we like him? Because if you actually factor in Jack Grealish in terms of like numbers or being that definitive player, he's not really that guy. I just think we saw potential and thought he has to reach that next level. Man City have just lost Sterling and Jesus, yeah? And people can talk about Jack Grealish might be more technically gifted than Sterling or has a better first touch or is a better dribbler. Sterling does get you numbers. I think Sterling is more of a decisive player. And so is Jesus. I think Jesus, is better than Grealish. So for me, Grealish has to really have a good season. And I think there's pressure on Grealish because that left-hand side is now his. Last season, he had Sterling to kind of like back him up if he doesn't have a good game or Man City win the game via Sterling. You know, the Jack Grealish kind of talk gets kind of put down to the floor, so to speak. No one don't really talk about it. But now that Sterling's gone and Sterling played on that left-hand side as well as Grealish, then man kind of rotate. It's going to be interesting to see, bro. I can't lie. Big season for Jack Grealish. Big season.
Agreed. Streets Approved Tem says City would be more of a threat if they signed Madders instead of Grealish, in my opinion. Madders could replace KDB in the City system. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
And not replace him in terms of talent, but he's got more of a similar style to De Bruyne, which I get what he means than Grealish. Like, he can more mimic what De Bruyne does than Grealish can. I agree in that sense. Before we move on, just quickly, Matt, Madders or Grealish? You're the tiebreaker at the moment.
The way I see it, Grealish is now. I look at Grealish more of a left winger now.
For Liverpool. If you had to pick a player for Liverpool.
If I had to choose one.
For Liverpool, out of the two, which one would you take?
Probably be Maddison still. It will be Maddison. Probably because
I can't even hate on it because I rate him as well. I don't agree, obviously, but I can't hate on it.
The reason I say that, because I don't just want to throw out the name, I think it's because if we was looking for that number 10, even though Carvalho could be that guy, I think he might be. But let's just say, for example, we're looking for what's going to fit our system. We always talk about, we've got so many left wingers. Like, even though Grealish can play in a midfield three, I still feel like his best position as things stand is still left wing. So therefore, Maddison playing the 10, I think would suit us better.
I'm not gonna lie. In a 10, I'd take Grealish over Maddie in a 10.
Would you?
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing though. Grealish good take-ons and whatnot, but do you know what Grealish has about him at times, a little bit at times? He has that Lallana thing where he just holds on to the ball sometimes a bit too much. Like, but do you know what I think that is though? Because
We've
that
already
was
got Curtis for that.
Because he had to do that at Villa. He was their outlet. He was their guy. Give him the ball, he'll get you out of trouble. Now he's been asked to like almost untrain that. Because I don't know if you notice whenever they go down the left with Grealish, sometimes Grealish will take on 2-man, cut back, and then reset the move. Or he'll just get the ball and lay it back off straight away. Like he's not too sure exactly what to do yet. So
I think even though I totally understand why he went to Newcastle, went to Man City, I think Newcastle would have been a better move for Grealish.
Not at this stage.
Yeah,
no, I think this is perfect, Cal. Because by the time they become a juggernaut, he'll be around 27, 28. He'll be the key man at the club, and he won't have that little bit of like. Because he would never admit it, and maybe I could be wrong. I am making an assumption, but he looks like he's got a bit of an inferiority complex at Man City. Because at Villa, he was so much the main player.
But he's almost 20. He's going to be 27 in 2 months, bro.
He's gone City and he's realised he's bottom 5.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine going from a club where you're the best player,
but
and then going to a club where you're like bottom 5.
He's not bottom 5, G.
Bro. In terms of the attacking players, obviously he's more talented than the defenders. But if you actually look at their attacking players, bro, Grealish is in the bottom half of it. Like, he's not better than hardly any of them. Like, he's not better than Sterling. He's not better than Bernardo. He wasn't better than Jesus. He wasn't better than
I disagree with Sterling. And
what's the other guy they got in attack? Mahrez. He's not better than Mahrez. Who else is in their attack? Like, come on, but let's be real. Like, he's in the bottom 5% of their attack.
But one thing I'll say about Grealish, though, again, it was because remember when Mahrez took less time, but when Mahrez first started, Mahrez was a little bit like, is he just bare substance? And then he kind of hit the ground.
Yeah, Foden. He's not better than Foden. Like, he's literally their worst attacker. I'm not saying that he's a bad player, but he's Man City's worst attacker.
No.
Let's keep it a buck, guys.
I will say he's probably their most inconsistent, but I can only really judge.
Who's he better than, Matt? Just quickly. Out of Man City, even if you add Haaland
right now,
who is he better than at Man City in their attack?
I don't know much about what's his name.
Julian Alvarez.
Yeah, like I know he's good, but I ain't watched him to say.
So there's only one guy we don't know much about. There's a possibility he's better
I would say. Well, here's the thing: if you're talking front three, there's no one better on the left than him right now in that front three. That's my whole argument. It's not about whether he's the worst. It's more about for where he plays on that left, because he was second fiddle to Sterling, in my opinion. But now he's like catapulted himself to number 1. There's no real competition there, really. That's why I feel like Man City have got a bit weaker because they're not, they're going to have to rely heavily on my man to ball out.
They
still.
want Saka.
Oh, gosh. Well, if they get Saka, then we might as well just fold this debate, fam. Like that.
Because they want Saka.
Because if they get Saka, that versatility as well.
Saka isn't. I actually don't think Saka's good enough for City, but it'll be funny watching Arsenal.
Bro, Saka gives them options. Remember, it's options.
No, he gives them options, but Saka's not as good as Sterling. Therefore, it still doesn't make City a stronger team.
No, right now he's not. But Saka's potential was very high, though.
I don't think his potential could be better than Sterling either.
Definitely can be.
No, I disagree with that totally.
Well,
there's an argument to say Saka at this age is more complete than Sterling was at this age.
Yeah, but regardless of whether he's more complete or not, I can't see Saka getting 25 goals 3 years in a row like Sterling did.
In a Man
but I think
I definitely see it.
Maybe, and not only that, they're different. They're kind of different type of players, though. I think Sterling's more of the goal getter. Saka's more of the creator. Do you know how much attention Saka gets when he gets the ball?
Look, I don't think Saka's a bad player, but I don't think he'll ever reach Sterling's level. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. No, he might not, but I think he's got a very good chance, though. I don't think he'll hit Sterling numbers, but I think he might become a more complete player than Raheem Sterling.
I mean, you got 11 goals and 7 assists in the Prem last season. That was with Arsenal.
I just think Sterling's just a. Remember, you said it as well, Jeff. Like Sterling, I think Sterling's a good player. But if I said what's his one of the main things that stand out for me, it'll be he's a goal scorer. His goal scoring instinct is very, very good. However, there's other parts of his game that I feel like he could work on.
Actually, do you know what? Even
Do you know
though
what I
I
mean?
can't stand Sterling, like for obvious reasons, I actually totally disagree. 20-year-old Sterling was a much better prospect than Saka. I'm forget that Sterling that left Liverpool was a G. Hold on, what are we doing? No. I just realized what we're doing. Saka is not better than Sterling at the same age. He's not.
Why is he not?
Nah, 20-year-old Sterling was better than this Saka. Come on, guys. He was. Come on, let's be real.
I'm going to ask
Sterling was 19 in our team, badding it up.
I wouldn't say he was badding it up.
Nah, but that's how we got a £50 million move to City.
No, I would say his trajectory. No, see, here's the thing. Sterling at 20, his trajectory was going high, and he had that breakout season. Obviously, not even breakout, but the season that really kind of made him go into his own was the season with Suarez and them, and that's when he really found his footing.
He was
and then when they left
that year.
Then when they left, he had to be like the focal point when Brendan Rodgers was doing a madness, putting him in as a striker and them things there. That's when he started to grow. It's hard to judge because two different teams, two different systems. I'm just looking at the pure talent in terms of like, what do you see from both of them?
All right, so sorry to cut you. Sterling's 27 at the moment, yeah. So for him to be 20, we'd have to go back to 2015, yeah.
Yeah.
In the 15-16 season, he scored 6 goals and got 2 assists.
Yeah, but that's there's got to be context because we were terrible.
And Arsenal's team isn't much better, bro.
No, Arsenal had a good season. They nearly got top 4, Cal. No, Arsenal did have. Let's put the banter aside. They did have a good season,
but they didn't though.
No, but Cal, at one point, they were so heavily favourites for top 4. We just forgot about Tottenham and Man United. Arsenal didn't have a bad year, you know. They didn't. We had some funny moments,
and that's effectively because Saka was their best attacking player all season.
So do you think Saka is better at 20 than Sterling was at 20? Do you honestly believe that?
Slightly. Not night and day, but slightly I do.
But the thing is, I still feel like they're different. Do you know, it's hard. I still feel like it's kind of hard to kind of like.
And I'll say this Arsenal team now, sorry to cut you, Matt. The Arsenal team that just finished 5th is better than the Liverpool team after Suarez left. Do you remember how much we were in the mud after that team we had?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. 15-16, he wasn't at Liverpool. 15-16, he was at City. He was at City when he was 20.
Are you sure?
100%. He stayed with us for the 14-15 season. In the 15-16 season.
Yes,
at the beginning.
Yeah, you're right.
He was at City.
Oh, you're right.
But then that means that was just him adapting to being at a new club because I'm sure the rest of his stats after that are like amazing.
The following season it was 7 goals and 6 assists.
Plus, I'm not only going on stats. I'm going on like the eye test, like watching the player, remembering how good Sterling was at that age. For me, he was way more impressive than Saka.
But if we're saying that, so his first 2 seasons at Man City, he was 20 years old and 21 years old, respectively, I believe. He got 6 and 2, 7 and 6. Saka at an Arsenal team which can't even hold a candle to that Man City team that he joined, got 5 and 3 the season of last season and 11 and 7 in a team way worse.
Yeah, but the focal point was him. Sterling wasn't the focal point of City. No, Saka was the focal point of Arsenal.
That makes it even harder for him, bro.
No, but it also means that he gets more opportunity if it goes through him. If the game's
I don't know if Saka was the focal point, but I'll say.
In fact, they didn't even have a focal point.
I would say
he was the one they were relying on.
No, I would say it was Odegaard. I would have said it was See, for me, I felt like if you could stop Odegaard, you had a very good chance of stopping Arsenal because he was like their key playmaker. Saka was very dangerous. What I'm trying to say, Saka gets a lot of attention, but I still feel like the way how Arsenal play, a lot of it is, they play through Odegaard. So I think I have to disagree with that, personally for me.
Fair enough. I don't think Saka will ever be better than Sterling, but The
He
argument
might
is
not
there.
be, but again, I just want to say I think they're different players, though. I do. I know it's because they're both wingers, so it's kind of easy. But it's like when people try and compare like Mahrez and Salah. Like I do feel like Mahrez is more of like a playmaking winger. He's not really a goal scoring winger. Even
But
though he gets
Saka and
goals.
Sterling are both direct, though,
Do
Matt.
you get
So
what
the
I mean?
comparison is a little bit easier than, say,
For example,
the Sterling and Salah one.
Because I say, like, for example, it's easier to compare like Son and Salah, like two goal scoring wingers. Do you get it? I think Saka and Sterling are a bit different, but I could be wrong. Maybe Saka.
But they're very direct, though. They're both dribbling direct wingers.
But
though.
I think Sterling more thinks in his brain, like I'm trying to get a goal. I don't know if Saka thinks that instantly. I think Saka likes the build-up play and to get involved. I think Sterling's already thinking, I need to be there after this move because I need to get a shot off at goal. I think Sterling's a bit more forward thinking.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll see, innit? Well, obviously, we've got to wait 4 or 5 years to see whether Saka does live up to it. But yeah.
Manchu says, who's more talented, Grealish or Hazard? Or with all due respect to Manchu, I don't think that's a debate.
Yeah.
Can I answer that and move on, boys?
Oh, of course.
There's Hazard. It's Hazard.
Hazard is generational. That isn't even a competition.
Can I ask you guys a question? Let's not spend long on this, but all serious. And I speaking objectively, forget about your personal feelings. Has Sterling hit the heights that you guys expected him to hit when he was at Liverpool, when he broke out and had the first few seasons?
In terms of like numbers, outcomes, and what he's achieved, I do think he's hit the heights I thought he would. Yeah.
But we know football is more about more than just numbers.
All right. You see how we look at Mane. I thought Sterling was going to be like that, but their version, so to speak. So even though, because again, it's not just about numbers, it's about like impact and like how much do you really mean to the team. Sterling for me, only maybe like 1 or 2 seasons was undroppable, whereas Mane, up until literally like the season before last, was undroppable. I think Mane, like I thought Sterling was gonna be like, I don't want to go as far as to say like the British Messi, but like I just thought with all that dribbling ability, that explosiveness, I always said the only thing he needs to work on is his composure in front of goal and his shooting technique needs more variety. I said if he gets those things spot on, I think he could become anything he wants to be. The guy's got pretty much everything. Oh, and his weak foot as well maybe needed a bit of work, but he has all the tools like to be world class, and I think he is world class. But some people would say he's not world class. And it's one of them ones where it's like, I can't categorically say he is. If I am, it's mainly because of the numbers, not because of him as a complete player. Like, because as a forward, I still think he's not complete in a weird way. I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
I mean, I asked you guys a question. I'm cheating a little bit because I don't know the answer myself. But
so I don't know. Yeah,
he's very Marmite as a player, isn't he? Like, you got some people who love him, others who just think he's not my cup of tea.
One thing I'll give Sterling credit for, he's got sensational movement. And I think as long as he's got that,
of course,
he will always be effective in a game, regardless of whether he's got a poor touch or his finishing is poor, or those little things that do annoy you about Sterling that make him quite a, without being disrespectful, basic player, like skill-wise. But like his movement is sensational. He always arrives in the right place at the right time.
I wouldn't.
Even if he puts it over the bar,
he's
or
not.
puts
No,
it
he's not.
wide,
He's not. See, do you know what I'd say? See, there's this debate about basic. Yeah,
technically wise, I think he's basic.
No.
Or
So do you know what?
textbook,
All right. So all right. So who would you say is basic? Sterling or Shane Long?
If you want to talk,
Allow
about
it.
actual,
Allow it.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Allow it.
The reason that I said that is because Shane Long off the ball can run, he's athletic,
I had to step in there,
bro. See Sterling, yeah, his ball retention for running at high speed is actually so underrated, bro. You see when Sterling dribbles, Sterling's ball retention is actually kind of mad, you know. People sleep on that. It's just what it is that his left foot, in my opinion, should have been that little bit stronger. That allows him to do a little bit more. But his ball retention is mad.
Yeah.
People won't even like this.
You know, I've just spent 15 minutes talking glowingly about Sterling. Can we move on? Because I hate the.
One last thing before, so I can just quickly. I might ruffle a few feathers here. I'm going to ask Cal. Cal, who's got better ball retention running at high speed, Mane or Sterling?
Running at speed.
Serious question.
I'm running at speed. I'd probably say Sterling.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Sorry, hold on a sec.
That wasn't me, by the way.
Hold on. Have we not all sat here, maybe apart from Drift, but have we not all sat here collectively and been like, Mane's dribbling is taking a little bit of a hit, hence why we're not playing him on the left wing anymore? Let me fire the question back at you, Matt. Who do you think?
Drop me out this comment. Let me know when this conversation's over.
I'm asking the questions, bro. No. You're right. No, I'm gonna be honest. I'll be so honest. It hurts me to say this. If we're talking ball retention at high speed, I think Sterling just a little bit.
Sterling.
I have to be honest, a little bit.
We're talking about today in 2022.
A little bit.
Remember,
Remember,
at their peaks, it's not even close.
At their peak, it's Mane. But if we're talking like today, that's what I said.
You can't see it all.
Huh?
You can see though, right?
I'm legally blind. I can see barely.
Right now, innit? Right now.
Right now, it is.
Not prime Mane. No, that's a different conversation, bro.
But with prime Mane, we're not even asking the question. But
exactly.
As today in 2022, yes.
Hey, Mama, I love you. P.O.P. all the time. Right, these all good pimp squad, baby, for life.
Sadio Mane squad made for life.
Oh boy, it's my.
These super chats before we move on to the next topic.
I think we better move on. Period. My
Drift says unpopular opinion. I'm taking Neves over Jude now.
I'm not.
Not saying that Jude's a better player than Neves, by the way. I'm just saying for us, I think Jude would be better in our system than Neves.
Matt, am I crazy that I've still got doubts about Bellingham?
Yeah, you crazy. You crazy. I think the reason why you're doubting him is because one, we do know Bundesliga does have a lot of tax with it. It does. It has a lot of tax. The tax is building. And I can't lie to you. It's been a while since someone's been able to take that tax down. Not only that as well, maybe the age as well. You're thinking, is he doing that in a Dortmund team because he's not really under a lot of pressure? Well, when you're fighting for titles in a Man City or a Liverpool or even a Bayern Munich, can you play the same way? But I do think, though, in my personal opinion, bro, this guy's going to be serious. I'm not going to go as far and say crazy things and say he's the next Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, all these people. His potential is very high and he's mature for his age. And I like the way he plays. And I think he suits our style down to the T. You see how you used to rave and still do about what Henderson brings off, like on and off the pitch. In my opinion, if Jude Bellingham was to continue, and I say continue his trajectory, bro, you'll be looking at him how you looked at Henderson when we won the Premier League and the Champions League. In my opinion, that's how I think you would look at him because his maturity, bro, and I think his playing style. But he's more technically gifted. I think you'll be cool with Jude if you was to sign him.
Not even to draw you out here, Drift. Why would you be so much more willing to say that Nunes would be a success and have doubts over Bellingham?
No, I'm not saying Nunes would be more of a success, but at half the price, there's less risk. So if you're saying we can get Nunes for 35 mil, that type of price means...
I'm talking about Darwin. Sorry, I should have been more specific. Darwin. Because you kind of don't have any doubts that Darwin's going to be a big player for us.
Because as a striker myself...
I'd arguably say Bellingham's done it for longer than Nunes, and I'd arguably say he's done it at a higher level.
I mean, I disagree with that. I think they've probably done it about the same.
No, Bellingham's 2 seasons minimum. He's been doing it now.
Yeah, but Nunes had a very good season last year. I think people downplay. He had a good season last year. He did. Just because this season was outstanding, he had a good season last year. But anyway, as a striker, I just know if you know where the goal is, more often than not, even through bad form, you'll eventually find your way out because finishing never goes away. Do you get what I mean? You can lose confidence, you can do all that other stuff. But if you're a good finisher, That's the reason why people like Jermaine Defoe had a 20-year career, because even if he fell down a bit, even when
he's an
athleticism left him a
elite
bit.
finisher, Defoe, in my opinion.
No,
Defoe is close to elite. Yeah.
So, no, but my point is, I'm not saying Nunes is an elite finisher, but the finishing is brilliant. He has that killer instinct. So for me, I have less doubt that as long as you supply him with the service, he will get the goals. I don't care if Nunes has poor build-up play at Liverpool. I don't care whether he doesn't get involved as much. If he bangs 25 goals a season, that's all that matters. I'm trying to unprogram myself from the Bobby movement of, like, he's got to be brilliant with his touch and he's got to have this brilliant little deep line play and dropping deep and that stuff. That Bobby from 2015 to 2020 is probably one of the best things I'm ever going to see in a number 9 shirt or up front for Liverpool in terms of all the other stuff. But I don't care about that stuff anymore. I just want my striker to bang now. That's all I want. So if Nunes is hitting 15, 20 goals a season, I don't care if his passing ain't as good as Bobby and if his build-up play ain't as good as Bobby. That's why I've been defending Jota for the last 6 months. I don't really care how good his link-up play is. He bangs goals. Jota's been getting winning goal after winning goal. I don't care how good his build-up play is. As long as he's putting a ball in the back of the net, the number 9 for me can get away with having a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I think that's why I'm way less worried about Nunes, Cal. Because if you're a midfielder, you can't hide, especially in a Klopp system. You cannot hide. So you've got a lot more pressure for me being a midfielder for Liverpool than you do being a striker for Liverpool. So I think that's why I'll be more worried about Bellingham. Don't get me wrong. I know Bellingham is a talent. There's just something that thinks 90 mil for Bellingham. This could go wrong. I don't know why. There's just something that's
Bro,
this could go wrong.
Yeah,
I'm more feel like that about Nunes than Bellingham.
Same. Do you know what it is?
I think Bellingham. Sorry to cut you out. I genuinely feel Bellingham would be less of a risk than Nunes at the prices they're both at.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And the reason I say that is because if Nunes doesn't score, what else does he contribute in a game?
Remember, we only pay 85 if he does well. So if he does crap, then it's only 64 mil we paid for him, right?
64 still high, brother.
No, it is, but I don't mean
high.
only. Yeah. All right, not
only.
But if you're saying, Cal, you think it'll be like 80 to 90 for Bellingham, that's a lot.
I mean, if it's 80 mil, it's 16 million more than Nunes. I don't think that represents loads more.
Think of Bellingham's age, bro. Bruv, let's be real. The engine room, bro, we can't. We got the same workers in the engine room. They've been doing their thing for however long, bro. We might have to take that little bit of a risk when it comes to, again, value. But I just think, bro, he fits the profile perfectly. You see that right-hand side of midfield.
It's only a slight.
No,
worry,
fair enough.
I'm not I can't believe we're going for Bellingham. Like, I'm just a little bit worried.
Bro, if we sign Bellingham, I'm just
a little bit worried at that price.
I'm gonna be so gassed. You see how we talk about like we're missing. Like, bro, he's a powerful runner. He's not necessarily the fastest midfielder, but he's a powerful runner. Bit like old school Henderson. His technical ability is serious. The man's got an eye for goal. Don't forget what he done in Champions League when he was badding up Man City. Don't even sleep. Listen, Jude is about that life. You can tell he's like.
It's the mentality. It's the mentality on Jude. I love him.
You know what it is? He's ready.
I do love his mentality.
Mentality,
bro. Even when I saw him spudding his mum in the documentary, I was like, my G.
When I saw him eloquently call out the officiating,
bro.
That right there is a brother who's got his head on his shoulders.
He was raised right, bro. He was raised right.
100%. Bro. Listen, Jude Bellingham on the right, Fabinho holding, and Thiago on the left. That's why we have to get Jude, but either by the end of this window or definitely next summer. Because you know what I realized as well, and this is making me feel sad. Does Thiago only have 1 year left, or is it 2?
No, he's got 2.
Are you sure?
Don't do it, Matt. He's got 2.
He's got 2.
Because I was thinking about the other day, I was like,
he signed a 4-year deal, Matt.
This is Thiago's 3rd year.
Yeah, bro. We don't need to have that conversation.
Bro, it made me get
we
emotional.
don't need to have that. Yeah. We don't need.
Look
to
at Cal. Cal about to put it in front of us.
You know, maths ain't mathing, bro.
Bro, you know what it's like? Right, this is his 3rd season. After this, he's only got 1 more year with us, bro.
Yeah, we won't have that conversation right now. But just quickly go, yes or no. Let's not dwell on it. Yes or no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Not even yes or no.
God.
Just give me the name. Not a yes or no. Just give me the name. Right now, if it was your money, your choice,
Yeah.
Bellingham
Yeah.
or Barella?
That's like asking me, do I want to work in 36 degrees heat or 38 degrees heat? I genuinely... I think Barella's 24, right?
No, I think he's 26.
No.
Was he 26?
I
Why
thought
do I think he was
I
younger?
thought he was 23.
How old is Barella?
Why was he?
He's 25.
Right, we're all wrong.
We're all wrong. So I said 24. Someone...
Turned 25, he's 25 and a half.
All right.
Bellingham's 19, I think.
Yeah. See, here's the thing.
Is Bellingham still not 20 yet?
Bro, he's not even 20, bro.
You're not allowed to be that mature at 19. It's not even real.
Do you know what? Barella, you see,
I was a prick at 19.
I rate Barella. You know what? Barella's at a
Hold
higher
on,
level.
dude just turned 19.
Yeah, that's mad still.
His
bro.
birthday was the end of June.
Oh, what?
That's
He's a
mad.
Cancerian. Oh, get him.
29th of June.
Bro.
Yeah, he's a Cancerian. Let's get it done.
All right, so I'm going Jude. It's just for the longevity. And not only that, you see how I say, like...
Sorry, shout out to 89 G-Road podcast. He said, Bellingham can win Young Player of the Year up until 2027.
It's true as well.
Yeah, do you know what?
25 ain't old, though.
No, it's not, but
No,
bro,
it's not
man's...
at all.
It's
Man's
not, but
19. Just
19, bro. That
That's a-
means the engine room could have a captain in there for...
So you're,
for
so
years.
you're only going for him over longevity. Not
It's only
like,
not, because Barella's playing at a high. Barella right now, in my opinion, can do with a different player. I still think they're different players, though.
They are. I think
Once
Barella helps you control the game more. Jude gets you more goals and assists.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
so which
but
one
it's-
would we prefer then?
I think we.
Matt, you asked Matt, bro.
Oh yeah, I did.
Swang that my way.
No,
still.
actually, I think I asked you both. I think.
Nah,
I
you
to
said
both.
Matt. You said Matt.
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I was meant to get both.
Nah,
of
it's
them.
too late now. It's too late now.
Hold on, I think the heat's making my computer freeze.
That's it's still as well, you know.
I don't know. All right. I'll probably go Jude Bellingham only because of longevity. I'm thinking, yeah, and not only that, other than Jorginho, it's the Italians thing. I feel like some of them, I don't know what it is when they come to
No,
England.
but
like,
remember, we went through the list and realized there's actually a lot of successful Italians. Don't you remember?
there is. But but I was talking about in recent memory. Jorginho is the one that kind of like sticks out in recent. But over the years, 100%, there's a bag of them. And I can't lie, the Aquilani thing still hurts me to this day, bro. I think I would go Jude. I'll go Jude.
Aquilani was so talented, you know. It's such a shame he was injury prone.
Bruv, mad talent. When he was at Roma, oh my days. People don't understand.
There's a problem.
It's different.
All right, people, let's move on to the next topic. Who is it?
I
So
just saw that. Yeah.
let's assume now Liverpool aren't going to do any more business this transfer window. And who we have at the club is who we have at the club.
Oh god.
And everyone's fit. Everyone's firing. We all know that Thiago and Flacco are the first two names on that midfield team sheet. And Drifty, I'm going to come to you first because Matt had to answer the Jude and Barella question. Who is your third midfielder on the right-hand side and why?
Carvalho.
Oh, curveball. Go on.
Unknown. Catch people by surprise. At a new club, so I think he'll have a little bit more of grit and determination to prove himself. He's got that Portuguese flair. And he's probably the best ball carrier in our team. And he's just got here, out of the midfielders. In fact, he is the best ball carrier in our team because some of the other guys, their availability is very sketchy. So I would play Carvalho. First game of the season, kicking off the Premier League. Flacco, Thiago, Carvalho.
Okay, Matt.
I differ from Drift. I won't put Carvalho there yet. Reason being, I think defensively he doesn't know our patterns of play yet, so I don't know if he would start him straight away. I think he can get there, and I also feel like he's going to be techie because I feel like he does his best work off the left as well. He's got that kind of I want to go onto my strong foot, even though he's got a very good left foot as well. So I wouldn't play him on the right hand side. I would worry about like you see how we talk about sometimes like I don't know, Henderson or Naby's got to help out Trent potentially with defending. He could probably do it, but I don't know if he could do it yet. So not him. For me, it's between Harvey Elliott and Naby Keita. Harvey, if you can go back to the start of last season where he just made that position his own. And I feel like if Naby, because you said if everyone's fit, if Naby's fit and he's on form, Naby's a problem as well. So it's out of them two.
Can I ask you a little question while Matt ponders on that? Are we too like brainwashed into thinking inverted has to be the thing now? Because you see where Matt was like, if he's on the right, then I think we should. It's like, do you remember the old school days when if you were right-footed, you played on the right? Have we been like brainwashed by the inverted thing now, where we believe you have to be on the other side to the foot that you were?
I just think, yeah, you know,
because
like,
why can't Carvalho play on the right as a right-footed player?
No one
it's
said
literally like natural.
No one said he can't.
Not if he's not played there. It's not natural to him if he's
See,
not
here's
played
the thing.
there.
You see, like, all right, for example, Coutinho.
It's like Salah on the left wing would be a car crash, in my opinion.
Same. I really do think it would be.
Only because he's for 10 years he's played the opposite wing. But if he was a young player, I don't think it would be.
Well, he started off on the left wing for Basel, but I think if Salah was to play left wing now, I think it would be ugly to watch.
He was more of a 10 for Basel, but yeah.
No, he's a left winger, bro.
No, he played 10 for Basel, bro. He was like a support striker / 10. I mean, all the games I watched him play for Basel, he was anyway. But it's very creative for Basel.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going Naby Keita, you know. I know people gonna do the whole like
shock horror.
No, that's absolutely fine. But there's reasons as to why though. I think if everyone is fit and everyone's on their foot and everyone's on form, I just got to keep it as real as possible. And this is not me being disingenuous to the players that we have. Harvey Elliott has come back from an injury and he's still trying to find his feet. Henderson's getting that little bit older. Curtis Jones, who you said, Drift, should be potential captain, ain't it for me. Another person, Carvalho, was playing the 10, but hasn't played in the 3-man midfield. Naby Keita's done that last season, and for me has been the best out of all the options that we have. If anyone can tell me who had a better season out of the current crop of players that we're about to mention than Naby Keita, then please let me know. Cool.
No, Henderson had a better season than that.
I don't think he did personally.
That's fair enough. He did,
and I think Klopp forced Henderson in the Champions League final as well. I think he forced it.
Here's the question I'll ask you.
I do agree with the second point there. I don't know who had a better season out of the two, but I do think Hendo was forced into that lineup.
Fair enough. But let me ask you this quick question, and we won't ponder on it. But if Naby's only got,
I think Elliott should be the starter for the right hand side still.
Hendo,
Elliott.
Oh, okay. So we've all gone different. If Naby and Ox have only got 1 year left,
I can see
regardless of whether we have to utilize them at some point, because obviously they're here, we pay their wages, and if they do play well, they are good players. Would it not be very risky to go into a season with any of those two being relied upon, knowing they're going?
No,
because I think that's the other thing I don't like about when a player's in his last year.
Genie Wijnaldum, bro.
You've always got to worry.
Genie.
Oh.
That
weren't me.
Not me. No, he's actually disappeared from the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's not even in the background, bro.
Must have pressed something.
Yeah. Oh, he's coming back in now.
Bloody
What happened, bro?
I know I was talking about Naby, but that was a bit bad, man.
I didn't do anything, bro. I just had to count like, what the hell? Man didn't even go into the background, bro.
I touched the touchpad and it just matrixed me out of the show. I don't know what that was, but yeah. No. So what was I saying?
You were saying
I get what you're saying about the Genie thing, but you know what I think was different about the Genie thing? I think Genie. I reckon in Klopp's mind, and again, I'm making an assumption, and I know they're the mother of all fuck ups. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think Klopp thought all along this will get sorted. And Genie was also a mainstay player and had been for the entirety of his Liverpool career. And for me, I think that was an easy decision to keep playing him. When it comes to Ox and Naby, because they're so in and out of the team, so inconsistent, and neither of them have ever actually stapled their position in the team. With both of them being on their last year, I kind of think it's a bit stupid to even rely on them anyway. Do you get what I mean? Because both of them are going to start thinking about their own careers beyond Liverpool by the time we get to January. They'll probably start talking to other clubs by the time we get to January. They're both injury prone, so they're definitely going to be worried about getting injured when they're going to be looking for new clubs. So for me, those two players seem like a liability. I almost want like Naby to get a new contract, so the situation isn't.
Well, funny
his last year.
But funny you say that.
What's the point playing this guy?
He's the one, but here's the thing though. So he's the one that's apparently negotiating with the club, whereas Ox there's nothing, bro. We're talking. There's no even talk of him even getting a new deal. With Naby Keita, there's talk of him in talks now, and what happens, isn't it? He's either gonna agree to the thing or he's gonna leave. Now, if he decides like he wants to leave, which I think he might leave actually, then it makes sense to maybe phase him out and give the youngsters a chance. However, if he does sign that new deal, you're saying to man, we believe in you. So you can't just say like, oh, we believe in you, but we're not gonna play you. That's only if though he's playing better, because for me it's about who's playing better in that moment, and that's how you utilize the squad. Sometimes you do have those players where they are undroppable because they are that good. For example, we would never drop Ali, we would never drop Fabinho unless he's having a stinker. That same thing with Trent. There's certain players on our team we would never drop them unless they're having absolute stinkers. Naby Keita doesn't fall into that category because he hasn't, even though I think he had a good season last season, he doesn't fall into the category of like you're just undroppable. He's not even close to that yet. Because for me, this was his best season. And it wasn't even amazing. It was just, for me, it was a good season. So it's about what do you do from here? It's the contract situation, like you said. If he gets a new deal and it's looking positive, you play him if he's in a good mindset and he's playing well. If not, that's when you give some of the others a chance. Because in my opinion, like you said, I think Ox is like fully done. And I'm surprised, and I'll be so shocked if Ox, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but I'll be shocked if Ox hasn't left, bro. No offer on the table, and you're just gonna be there. Like, I don't know. And he got injured in pre-season.
I just look at the two players, and again, I don't ever want it to seem like I'm being personal. Yeah. I never ever wanted to seem like I'm being personal because, all banter aside, I do really like both players when they are playing well and whatnot. But I just think it's ludicrous we're even having a discussion where either of these players are still Liverpool players. Like, what are we doing, man? This is hoarding at this point. Like, we need them people that need to come round and sit you down and go, look, I know this feels a bit sentimental to you, but like, there's no space in your house. Well, we got to throw some of this away.
If we're talking about hoarding, I could go one other. You know what I'm going to say?
No, but again, that's different, man, because that's the ornament that costs a lot of money.
Milner
you can put that in the loft and it's worth money, bro.
No, everybody loves James Milner. Bro, James Milner, when he signed in 2015, was 29 years of age, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, bro, he's been arguably the best free signing alongside Matip that Liverpool ever made. Like, it goes, like, you know, everyone's there. It goes in the category of just like, that's just pure greatness. However, bro, there comes a time where you have to sit man down and be like, you remember Toy Story, where I think remember when the toys felt like that flipping Andy, was it Andy? Yeah, Andy started growing up. Yeah, them man, they have to start thinking about their futures and that. Buzz had to look at Buzz. Buzz has got his own film, blood. Man's all grown up now, bro. There comes a time in a man's life, man have to move on from that, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro.
It
It's
ain't
one
the
of,
same, but fair enough.
James Milner, bro, is a legend, and no one is disrespecting him when we say this, but bro, we are being the ultimate holders by keeping James Milner for another year. I can't stress it enough, bro. I can't.
There's an argument Milner had as good of a season as Ox and Naby last year.
Not Naby.
Huh?
Nah, there is, man. There's an argument. I'm not saying it's a
What?
fact. I'm saying there's an argument.
Kev,
That
question
literally
here.
threw me off. I think I just glitched.
Shout out to Kevin at LFC Day Trippers. Guys, you've all gone someone different. You've all got legit arguments. Do we have depth issues, really?
Yes. Yes, we do. You said it in one. I brought it up today in this Summer Daily News show. Make sure you go watch that, by the way. Bro, you said, you read out the names. In fact, we'll go for the names right now. Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago, Naby, Ox, Milner, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, and you can even play
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler Morton. And if you really want to force it, Carvalho. 10. Do you know how much this pains me? And I don't even want to look into the camera. Do you know how much this pains me that we only legitimately have 2 world-class midfielders out of 10? Out of 10. Bro, we are the ultimate hoarders. How can we are big bag Liverpool and we've got 2 world-class midfielders out of 10?
All right, stop. Hold it just there. Hold it just
Bro.
there. Wait. I'm going to switch it. Can you guys name me another team, barring Man City,
Yeah.
that have more than 1 world-class midfielder in their team?
Okay, if they're not world-class, I would at least say they're of a high level.
No, world-class. Just do world-class.
Oh, okay. I'm still going to say Kante is world-class. Personally.
Okay.
I don't think Jorginho is world-class. Kovacic, I don't think is world-class. So that's a fair point. I think those guys are international class, like a tier below, in my opinion. I think they're international class. And I know what you're trying to do here, Cal, so I'm going to flip it back on you.
I'm going to Man City.
Man City are the team we're trying to beat.
Yeah, we're competing.
So even though you're right in terms of like not many people no one other than City have them options. That's the team we're trying to beat. So imagine this now. We talk about how we got the best defense in not even in the Prem, in the world. And I don't think many people can argue that. Not many people can argue that we have one of the best attacking. We're in top 5 for attacking in the whole of Europe. The only reason we're not saying top 3 is because there's an unknown quantity of Nunes. Let's say Mane was still here. I know you can't really do that, but I think people will still say Liverpool is still top 3. If they're not the best, they're top 3. When you look at their collection of Jota, Diaz, Salah, Mane, and Firmino, that collection's mad. But it's the midfield, bro. The midfield is where you would say there's kind of a few teams that probably have better midfields than us, or at least their array of options is higher. It's higher, bro. Do you know how scary that is for us?
But here's the thing, and I'll keep on saying it. Apart from Real Madrid, apart from Man City, who are our rivals, and there ain't no bones about it, they're the only 2 teams in world football, in my opinion, who can turn around and say, all right, I'm not going to say just them 2. I'm going to say they're the 2 that we're competing with that can turn around and say we've got more.
Competing with, I'd say.
So
let me ask you this:
does it have to be a world-class midfielder we get, or does it have to be someone who is top class and can become world-class?
Bayern, fam. I can't. We forgot Bayern.
That's why I just said those 2 teams for now.
Oh. Boy, I'm not gonna even Barca though.
No, not world-class.
No, but their depth is quite it's pretty decent though. They're not competing with us though. So what? Well, I don't even know if they are.
The problem that we have,
bro.
The problem that we have is that we have 2 or 3 midfielders that, and I won't say their names again because I don't want to keep saying their name, that they just don't live up to the standard that we expected of them.
I hear
whether it be through availability or performances because they're always recovering from injury. Because that's what the real problem is. And I know it's not a computer game, so we have to be realistic. But Ox, Naby, and Jones, in terms of talent, are quality players. Like, it's not the talent that's the issue. It's the performances and the availability, that's the issue. They're all talented players. It's so frustrating. It does my head in. I'm not even going to lie. And I think that's what might keep Klopp like going back to them. He sees them in training, in it, when they are performing well and they are doing well. And I think he gets blinded by that and then forgets that game time and training are not, they're not the same, Klopp, man. Like, they're not. You know what I mean?
Who would you both say are our top class midfielders then? Not world class, top class. The level below.
I'll put Henderson in that bracket. I think Henderson is a top class
and
midfielder.
I'd say Naby.
And you know what? I know you lot are going to shoot me down for this, but I'm still
Henderson and
putting
Naby.
Milner there. I still think Milner's a top class
Drew.
midfielder, man.
Bro, this is what I'm
Come on,
saying.
dude.
No,
Nah,
what it is,
man,
I
Milner
think
never lets us down. I'm sorry.
Bro,
When does Milner ever let us down?
it's not about letting us down.
Top class drift. He could get into most teams in world football and
Yeah,
start.
it's more like that.
That's different.
No, that's top class. But world
That's top
class, if he goes
class.
somewhere.
No,
he
but
makes
that is a
it
totally different conversation because
It's not,
Fernandinho
bro.
probably wouldn't have got into anyone else's team, but he was still a top class midfielder last
Not
year.
not when he finished, he wasn't.
No, I still think Man City fans would be like, no, Fernandinho's top class.
Even the Man City
No, he
fans are
wasn't.
like, no, the wheels of like.
He had a
he's kinda
fantastic career, but he's
Yeah.
not top class right now. We talk about
Bro,
right now today.
What it is, I can tell, like, it's like you're it's almost like you're worried to kind of like not call out Milner or call out,
I would never call out Milner.
not call out Milner, but it's like,
He's never let us down a day in
In
his
my
life. I would
opinion-
never call him out.
Of
it's not
course,
about
yeah,
calling
every
him.
players let us down. Like they're
No.
human.
Having a bad game isn't letting us down because having a bad game is natural.
No,
Milner has never let us down.
bruv, I'm sure there's been
ever.
times that Milner's given away fouls and led to guts. Bruv, it
No,
happens to
but
every
that's-
footballer. Carl's right.
That's not letting us
All
down.
right, my
I
whole
mean,
point is
like,
this though. He's an amazing servant to the team, bro. He's been one of the best in Klopp's era. Like, do you know what I mean? He's been one of the best. But bro, there comes a time where we gotta let go, bro. We have to, bro, and we should have, because here's the thing, Drift. You see how you're calling Milner top class? That should theoretically mean then, let's say just say that Fabinho.
No, because he is 36, so the legs aren't going to be able to do it.
See.
But in a one-off game, the legs can do it.
But let's say
for question. Sorry, Matt. Is Modric top class or world class drift?
Yeah,
They're the same age.
yeah, but Modric is on stuff.
But that's my point. If a 37-year-old is going to be in my team, they better be on stuff as well.
True. And I feel Milner's on some different stuff because he wins
no
that
shade,
test all
no
the time.
no shade on thingy, because obviously in Champions League he just comes up trumps all the time. He's an absolute legend. But I've spoken to some Real Madrid fans, and they do say week in, week out, he's not that great. But he just leaves his performances for the big games. So it's not like Modric is tearing up trees every single week.
Real Madrid fans booed Ronaldo, bro. They're the worst children in the class.
Bro, it's not even a debate on like
They
who's
got brand
better.
new TNs
What it is,
every single week, and they always moan saying that mummy and daddy don't give me enough. They are the worst, most spoiled children in the world, bro. They say Bale's not a legend.
No, it's true.
What Bale did for them?
Modric aged gracefully. Not saying Milner hasn't, because Milner, even at this age, when you think about his playing style, it's still kind of mad the way he carries on. But Modric even more so, because his playing style is just different.
He's just a better player, though, which is a bit unfair on Milner. Like, he's just a much more elite level player. So it's a little bit unfair to say that.
He's been able to age gracefully, more so for Milner, because Milner being ran into the ground. Bro, when you get ran into the ground, there's going to come a point in your career where you kind of know you can't do what you used to do. And I think we are there with James Milner. Do you want to know why, Drift? I pray, and I say I pray, we never come across a time where there's no Flacco, no Thiago, and say no Henderson or something. Let's say the three midfielders are injured. Milner's starting, yeah? And
but
I can't
only because the others haven't got their shit together.
No, well, you said he's top class, so by kind of default, he'll be there anyway. That's what I'm trying to say. Right. Whereas if that was like a different midfielder, we wouldn't be having this conversation, because it wouldn't be about age. It would be about, is he good enough? He's a top class. Yeah. Like, it'll be an example. Let's say it was Maddison. Let's say Liverpool signed Maddison and Milner was let go. Bro, there'll be, even though we will say we might be slightly hoarding because we've got so many, we'll be like, yeah, but Maddison's a different kettle of fish. He's a specialist. Like he can do things that others can't do. Bruv, do you know what Milner's doing right now? He's keeping the dressing room together because he's that type of guy. And he will always make sure that Klopp's instructions are followed out on pitch. Other than that, there might be some times where it gets a bit techie for him.
This is the point I keep trying to make. Naby and Ox are also top quality midfielders in terms of talent. It's their availability and performances why Milner has to play.
We can't call Ox top class, bro.
Bro, no, talent-wise, Cal. Talent-wise, Ox is a top-class midfielder.
Talent's not enough, bro. And
no,
again,
but that's the point I'm making.
Naby, I can't call Naby top class either.
But that's the point I'm making. Milner is only playing because the other guys aren't doing their thing.
I don't think he's going to shoot Naby like that. Flipping hell, bro.
No, but I'm just being real, innit? There's no point me...
No, but here's that's.
You don't think Naby's a top class midfielder, like international class, like below the world class? You don't think he is?
The point I'm making is Milner's only playing because other people aren't doing their job.
But he's still there, though, innit, Drift? So
yeah, but it's okay for your 8th choice midfielder to be a veteran.
8th choice, Drift. He's 4th or 5th.
Because the others don't do their job. That's my point. Milner's not the issue.
No, but I've never said who's the issue. My question was. No,
Naby,
my question was
Ox, they're the issue.
No. But
my question was, who is top class / international class in our midfield? If you're going off them not being world class, I don't think we have any.
Well, then that's where you have to have a conversation. We're talking talent or performances.
Well, everything.
Because talent-wise, I think Naby is top class. Performance-wise, no, he doesn't do it enough, does he?
All right, so we can't be top class then.
No, I think that's a bit disingenuous, you know. I think
no. All right, if
I'm not doing the fanboy thing. I'm just want to be honest though.
Field, and every time I'm doing training, I'm doing under 10 seconds. But every time I compete in the World Championships, I'm doing 10.5s and finishing 6th and 7th. I cannot turn around and say I'm a top class sprinter because I'm talented, because I'm not showing it.
No, but I think that's more Ox though.
I think
not
that's
Naby.
It is both.
This season,
they're both in the same bracket. You can't separate Ox and Naby, man.
I think you clearly can. I don't understand this whole.
We're not going to have one good season from Naby in his 4th year at Liverpool, and then make that he's been better than Ox was better prior.
Same with Ox. We've only had one combined good season from Ox.
Exactly. So that's why I say they're both in the same bracket.
That's what.
I don't think it's fair to put one above the other.
We're talking about right now, bro. In 2022, Ox and Naby is not ever. It's not a debate.
Back in the day, you could say like 2-3 years ago, you'd be like, that's what I'm trying to say. Not like now.
We're not talking about their Liverpool career. We're talking about now in 2022. Naby is clear of Ox. It's not even
a debate, bro. We're starting Naby Keita against Man City and dealing with them.
That's what we did last season. That wasn't what we were talking about. We're talking about what they proved at the club. And what they proved at the club, they're in the same boat. They're in the same boat. Not one of them.
But you know what?
Is above the other.
But you know what it is though? One of them, in my opinion,
what they've done.
Yeah, but that's recency bias to just put Naby above him now because he's been better than him in the last 12 months.
So what, are we supposed to go back then to when Ox was what, 7? You want to go back to 17, 18 again?
No, because I think Ox was actually good last year. When we realised Ox was actually good last year?
It was okay.
And I think Ox had a decent January as well. He filled in while them man was away. It wasn't like he's just been some waste man.
Can I just say this though? This is where I feel like, in my opinion, where the whole favourites thing comes in. Because I'll tell you something from now. This is my opinion. If Naby Keita was the one that was sitting on the sidelines, not getting picked, he will. When I say the criticism this guy will get will be like off the charts. How can we really sit here in a man that's in his own clothes, own clothes, not even like getting into the squad, and we're talking about, is he on par with a midfielder that was playing regularly with Thiago and Fabinho? That don't make sense to me. Like someone's got to explain to me why we're talking about a midfielder whose career is actually finished at Liverpool theoretically, And now we're going to compare him to someone who's trying to get in a contract extension. Whether you think he's good enough or not, he's had where he is right now in his career is clear of the other person.
No, that's facts. But the conversation was about which one of them has been better for Liverpool.
It wasn't true.
Yeah, it was
because we're talking about we have.
We was talking about their overall quality. So therefore, we went on based on what they've done at Liverpool.
The whole thing started with
I'm going on what they do now. What can they do for Liverpool now?
What can they do now? What are they doing now? That's why I talk about James Milner.
Naby's above Ox right now.
But that's why
Naby's above Ox right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's why I said I don't want to disrespect Milner because
talking about their
career. No, that's why I tried to say to you, we're not disrespecting careers. Like when I was talking about Milner, I was like, it's about the Milner now because the Milner's career is sensational for Liverpool. But you see the now, bro, it's now. We need to be signing midfielders, like you said, like Bellingham, Gavi, all of them. And we're sitting there re-signing James Milner. And we're saying we're not holding.
But again, like I said, I know you lot don't want to see it that way, so we won't keep going on about it. Milner is only playing because the others don't do their job. The point of Milner being around isn't so he plays if one of the main players gets injured. But because the other guys can't be relied upon, it ends up being that. And that isn't an indictment on Klopp or him. That's an indictment on Jones, Naby, Ox. These men should be playing well enough that Milner can't get in the team. It's on them. It's not kind of on Klopp and it's not on Milner.
It's a bit of both, Drift, because it also is Klopp. It's who Klopp trusts the most as well.
Yeah, Klopp, but his trust is based on performances, bro.
Not all the time.
And then that ain't proven that they're good enough to
stop
throughout the team.
Trust is not always based on performances. Trust is a lot of the times based on past stuff. Hence why Robbo started the Champions League final.
You took it.
Hence why Hendo started that Champions League final in the number 8 position ahead of Naby Keita when Henderson's best position was the 6th last season. So it can't be trust because of what they're doing. It's trust because of who the manager wants to see.
Exactly.
Milner should be nowhere near.
No, but the trust is always going to be part of.
Look at the Simicast thing, bro.
The past is always going to be part of trust, though, guys, because you've got to go off of what you know. So the past will always be a part of trust. Yeah, but I actually agree it should be. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, if somebody back in the day used to be a thief, that's always gonna come into your mind when you're making the decision about whether you should leave money on the side. Like, of course, the past is about trust. Like, that's just a fact. But generally speaking, though, I believe that their performances aren't good enough to stop Klopp from reverting to type. Because I said it to you last
season, Keita's performances were.
Yeah, but Milner never started the Champions League. No, but I don't think Keita's performances are better than Henderson. So that's a flip of a coin. Milner never started the Champions League final.
I'm saying, but this is what I'm saying. Milner's not 8th choice.
He should be, but the others are making it that he's
not.
But he's not. So
why can't you guys see that it's because the others don't perform well enough to ensure he's 8th?
Bro, Klopp wanted to keep James Milner, for I don't even know what reasons. Like, I'm joking, but like, no shade, but he wanted to keep him dressing room. I get that mentality. He's a captain and a model professional. But my issue is that we can all see that we're lacking in midfield, and it would have made more sense letting go of a player, not re-signing him if the contract has expired. You therefore gone on and taken on another contract. I don't care if he's taking less wages, because Klopp was giving it the big one about how many players he has and how's he going to fit them all in. Well, for starters, Jurgen, I know you're the guy, but you need to explain to me this James Milner's one. If James Milner is 8th choice this season, then fair enough, Drifty, if he is. But we're going off what happened last season, and he wasn't 8th choice, bro. He wasn't 8th choice, bro. Do you know how much it hurt my feelings when we went to the bridge and we played? I try to remember actually. It was Milner.
Oh, Milner was Henderson. The better midfielder out of the three.
No. It wasn't even about that. Naby Keita was fit and going to AFCON, remember? And we were all saying, why don't you just play him? Like,
I think Naby played. I think it was Henderson, Milner, and Naby.
No, Naby never played. But remember what I kept on saying?
Are you sure?
But I remember as clear as day. I was like, this don't make no sense. It's like Naby's going to AFCON. So why would you not play him? Because if he gets injured, he gets injured. He's not in a rude way, and it's not even disrespect to Naby. But it's not our fault if he gets injured, isn't it? You're going away. That's your thing. Bruv, Klopp reverted to the Milner, was it Milner, Henderson, and Fab? I think it was bro.
All right, Let me ask you a quick question, then, Matt. Yeah, be as unbiased as possible.
Yeah, no, based on bias possible. Yeah.
Milner leaves, his contract expires, and he goes.
Yeah.
We say farewell, and Milner goes.
Yeah.
And we don't buy a midfielder because he's surplus to requirements, right? And like he shouldn't even be playing anyway. So we just don't replace him.
Yeah.
And then we go into a game where we've got a slight issue with Thiago and Fabinho, and we're like, oh shit, Hendo's got to drop into the 6. Lo and behold, usual scenario. Naby's injured, Ox is injured. Carvalho's playing left wing because, I don't know, Diaz is suspended. Something like that. In that scenario, that is what I think Klopp has looked at when he's re-signed Milner and thought, 9 times out of 10, if I'm in that scenario, at least Milner's there. Whereas enough times, Ox and Naby just ain't available when we've got injuries somewhere else. And even if you're saying Milner shouldn't be playing,
could go Jota on the left and Carvalho in through the middle.
No, you could, but I think what was behind
but even Harvey, it might have had experience. But...
The reliability of these two is just so sketchy. I would rather have Milner there available just in case than rely on these two's fitness. And I think the true proof's in the pudding that Ox is bloody injured already in pre-season. Do you know what I mean? Like, their reliability is atrocious.
Do you know?
Wait a minute.
Naby's picked up, though. I will say that, though, in terms of his injuries.
Because one thing I think we overlook a lot of the time, Milner breaks down quite a bit as well, you know?
He does, especially, yeah. No, he does,
really.
Yes, he does. Just because he doesn't play as much football. Milner breaks, but his body breaks down sometimes.
I reckon Milner broke down more than Naby Keita over the last 2 years.
Not really. And if Milner gets an injury, like he's back in a few weeks, it's not like Naby and Ox where you just don't know when they're gonna play again.
I get Naby.
I've seen Milner pull a hamstring and be back next week.
Bro, I get the whole Naby injury thing for the first 2.5 to 3 years probably. But one thing I will say is last year, he didn't miss a lot of games for injury, you know, bro. It was mainly because Klopp didn't want to play him.
Because he doesn't know, because he hasn't performed well enough to prove he should play.
No, do you know what I think it is as well, bro? And we have to be honest. Klopp does have his favourites at times, but we have to keep it real. And that's why I would say the Robertson thing. Like, we saw there were many a times where, like, Tsimikas should be playing. Oh, you're going to play Robertson again? You're going to play Robertson again? Bro, there were times when Trent had a bit of a bar patch and we were saying, why not try something different? Like, why not try Joe Gomez there? Remember when he done it towards the end of the season and Gomez played well? And that wasn't even my first thought. You kept on saying Joey G could play there. And look what Gomez did. There's just little things that, like, Klopp does at times when it's like he likes to go with his trusted players at times. And in my opinion, Henderson being captain as well weighs heavily on him, bro, on his shoulders. So for me, he's always going to go with that favoritism. But I'm wondering whether he can phase out of that, because it can't be a favoritism thing if we want to win the league and win the Champions League, man. You just have to go with who's playing better. Who is playing better?
So, out of that conversation, all of us have disagreed on who would start. So, we'll just leave it to the people then. Who would be your third choice midfielder with Flacco and Thiago? Matt's gone with Keita. I've gone with Elliott. Drifter's gone with Carvalho. Let us know in the comments, people. It's going to be a very interesting season if we don't make any signings. Speaking of transfers, next topic. So we've recently seen Nico move on. Now the rumours are Nat Phillips, Reece Williams, Tyler Morton potentially could be going out on loan or permanent. Ben Davies has obviously just gone as well to Rangers.
So somebody popping, you know where you pop the...
Oh, the ice pack. It's the ice pack. Oh, is that what it is? Ice pack. Oh, I thought it was the ice pack. I thought...
No, it is. That ice pack is melted.
That's
the only bit of ice that's left is melted.
Oh, okay, yeah. No. The mic is picking it up.
Sorry.
It sounds like you're panicking because of the heat. That's just like, damn, son.
I'm just rubbing it across my chest, bro. Just keep my temperature down, bro. I'm out here cooking, man. How shiny my face is, bro. I'm cooking.
No, fam, it's too hot. I
need to get one of those LFC flannels ratings on that every time.
Facts.
What are we saying, guys? Sepp Vandenberg as well.
You know what? I thought Sepp played quite well in the preseason.
Oh, Sepp looking all right. He looks like he's maturing
and he looks
a bit.
strong, innit?
He looks quicker.
Yeah. The guy couldn't hench him off the ball. I was like, okay, he's grown into his body a little bit now.
Maybe he's the new, or supposed to be the new Delete. Remember they were saying, remember when we bought him?
You know what? I might
saying that
actually
Delete's gone
keep
by.
him around. I might actually keep him around for one more year.
I think we should loan him, not sell him. I think
I'd keep him around for another year.
Just to see what happens with him, bro. Because do you know what it is? If he has a good season.
Wait a minute. If we loan him out and he comes back next summer, what's different?
No, but if he has a brilliant season, then that means that you might be able to find a way to like find space for him in the team.
Where?
Like as a fifth choice centre.
Matip's only got 2 years left, you know.
Well, I'll ask. All right. So out of the choices, then currently you've got Reece Williams, Nat Phillips, and Sepp Vandenberg. Who would be your fifth choice?
It would be Phillips, but he's the one who wants football more, so he's the one more likely
I'm not gonna lie.
Move.
Phillips looked like he got a software downgrade over the summer. Did you see what he was doing in pre-season? Fam, he malfunctioned. Did you? I don't know what happened to him, bro. Seriously.
Allow Phillips.
No, I know. Just was like, I'm gone.
Phillips,
bro.
My guy still.
Don't get me wrong. I still rate him, but I cannot lie to you. You guys, I'm not lying when I say this. Something he just didn't look right, innit? I
mean, are we gassing Sepp based on one half of a friendly as well, though?
No. I
am. But
Phillips wants to go, right? Phillips is too old now. I think he's 24 now, right? He's too old to just like sit around anymore, right? Yeah. So Phillips wants to go, and I think Bournemouth would give us 15 mil for him as well, which is good money in terms of like the circumstance. So I'm taking the money for Phillips. And I'm not even gonna lie, I'm trying my hardest to not be shady or disrespectful. Reece Williams will never be that guy. Wherever he goes, wish him luck, and it is what it is. Reece Williams will never be that guy. There are some players that I watch and I think, if you can play for Liverpool, I could have played for Liverpool. And Reece Williams is one of them. Like, I look at him. I know we play different positions, but I look at him, I think, if you made it through the academy, I could have made it through the academy.
All right, so here's the thing, yeah. You see, when you watch Reece play for the under-23s, he actually looks like an accomplished centre-back. I'm not even going to lie.
But then that means he's not ready to step up to.
No, I agree. He's not ready for Liverpool. But
he's too old to not be ready. He's what, 20 now?
Yeah, bro, that's young.
No, but he should be. He's old enough to be ready to step up to the men's football, though.
I think he could play Championship football.
Maybe. I don't know. Reece just don't. To me, I just don't think he's got it. I just don't. But
there's a reason Klopp decided to play Reece over Ben Davies, and Ben Davies was playing Championship football.
I think that was just horses for courses. That season was all over the place. You know what I mean?
Reece could play Championship football. I'm not saying he's going to be some world-class centre-back or top class even, but Reece could play Championship.
I don't like to make comparisons, but when I look at like Chalobah, and players like that who've come through at like Chelsea, do you know what I mean? And then I look at Reece, I just think, what's our academy playing at? And I'm trying not to be disrespectful, so I hope it's not coming across disrespectful, but I do look at certain other teams with their young players and then look at ours and I think, wow, what's going on, man? Like, our academy's kind of got to step up a bit because there's players like, look at Tomori, bruv. Tomori is a brilliant defender. I know he's a little bit older than Reece, but I'm thinking he still looked better at 20. Like, I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are other clubs like having these like players come through who are good? I'm like, what is going on with our academy? Like, there isn't really truly anyone who's established themselves. And I'm like,
so here's the thing. No, this is why I disagree. Name me a position where we don't have a world-class or top-class starter. You can't.
There isn't one really.
All right. So how's the academy player meant to step up?
No, when you get the chance, you've got to be better than what they're showing.
Now, let me land. You rate Elliott very highly, right? Effectively, though, if we were to get a centre midfielder or two. Elliot would probably be 6th choice centre midfielder, right? The reason why certain players like Tomori and that were able to break through, not because they're not talented, but you look at the state of those teams that they broke into at the time. Same with Rashford. Everyone kind of forgets the backstory why Rashford got first team football. Obviously, he's kicked on and developed into a player, but sometimes there's got to be a bit of luck involved as well.
Yeah. But remember, you said yourself, cream rises to the top.
No, it doesn't. I still think Rashford would have become a first team player. I just don't think it would have happened as quick. But cream rising to the top with us, it's a big bloody glass, bro.
It is, but I just don't know how Reece. And again,
I'm not even talking about Reece. I'm talking about your question in regards to the academy. Full stop. There are some very talented players in the under 23s. It's just you look at our team and you think, where does anyone get into?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I do get where you're coming from, but considering that we're big bad Liverpool and with no disrespect to any of the youths in our youth system, I think we have got one of the worst academies in the Premier League out of the top teams.
Far from it, bro.
Bro, we don't why have we got no one who ever breaks in then?
Well, all right, apart from Foden, who's broke through at City?
Well, they've got that new guy who's coming through this year. I can't remember his name, but
Palmer. Is it Palmer?
Yeah, that's it, Palmer. Apparently, he's levels.
He's not there now. Who, apart from Foden, has broken into City's team?
Yeah, and remember, City are an anomaly because they're this cash cow that just go and spend all this money. But if you look at Chelsea, if you look at Arsenal, they break through kids, bro. Like, they do have kids breaking through.
And flipping Man City's academy is arguably top 2 right now.
But they are the anomaly who spend money, though.
Yeah, their academy's sick. I can't.
No, but that's my point, no drift. When you're at Liverpool and Man City, it's different levels. Like, them man can't break in that easily. Sancho had to leave City, bro, and go to Germany.
No, I hear that, but I don't truly believe there's anyone in the academy that's coming through that can make that Foden, Tomori, Saka impact.
But all right, so who's really busting through at Chelsea apart from Mount? All right, Reece as well.
Well, no, but they've had others who have done it though. Well, I mean, bro, like we've got there's Reece, there's Tomori, there's Chalobah, and
Tomori bounced. Tomori was sold.
No, but what I'm saying is he still came through and proved he was of a level. Gallagher, like, bro, Chelsea's got probably the best youth system in the country. Like, I don't even think.
All right, but you rate Curtis. So we've got Curtis Jones. I think Kelleher's proved himself now, and we've got Trent.
Yeah, but Trent's the first teamer now, so he's been a first teamer for 4 years. Academy.
Those are 3 players who are a big part of our squad. 2 are definitely a big part of our squad. The third is debatable.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but Kelleher and Jones aren't big parts of the squad. They've proved they're good enough, but they're not big spots.
Kelleher's not a big part of the squad, Drift.
Nah, he's proved himself, but I wouldn't call him a big part of the squad.
Kelleher. But Kelleher number 2, blood.
Yeah, but would you say if Kelleher left, it would be a problem?
Yes.
What would Adrian?
No. And I don't mean. I mean, as in, would you say it was hard to replace Kelleher?
Yes.
Really?
1 second, guys.
Of course it is, bruv.
Look, I rate Kelleher, but I don't think it'd be hard to replace.
Bruv, it'd be bloody hard to replace.
Someone like Tom Heaton could replace Kelleher.
No, he could. Tom Heaton ain't talking to Kelleher in 2022, bro.
I don't know, bro. I think that's a.
You think Tom Heaton today is better than Kelleher right now?
Well, I haven't seen him recently, but I'm going off for Tom Heaton that I know.
No,
Kelleher, I like Kelleher. I have no issue with
Kelleher. 3-4 years ago, bro.
I wouldn't call him a big part of this team. He had a brilliant cup run. I wouldn't call him a big part of the team.
So would you say Origi was a big part of the team last season?
Not really. As much as I love him, I don't know if I'd call him a big part of the team. He had some unbelievably clutch moments, but was he really a big part of the team,
bro? Kelleher is a very big part of the team.
I don't know. I think if Kelleher and Jones left the squad tomorrow, as long as we got a replacement, nobody would be that bothered.
That's my point. Getting a replacement for Kelleher would be a madness. That's why they were so keen to tie him down and all that.
All right, I'll give you Kelleher then. And I love Jones, but I still don't think Jones has proved he's a big part of the squad.
No, I agree with that one. I won't say Jones is a big part of the squad.
So we've got one who did it 4 years ago because Trent has been established for years now. And we've got Kelleher who broke through this year. But
No, Kelleher broke through last year, bro. We forget what he did in the Champions League.
No, but I mean, like, this year was the year where I would say, like, the seniority was like you're saying, of like the importance is like if he left, it would be a big deal.
No, I said this from last year, bro.
All right, I'll give you that. So that's 2 players in 10, 15 years.
That's standard drift.
I don't know, man. I
It
don't know. I think if
is.
you're Liverpool, I think you should have better academy players.
All right, before the crop of Reece James and that come through, who broke through at Chelsea before John Terry? Oh, sorry, after John Terry.
Yeah, but we can't say but before. In the last 3-4 years, they've brought through a hell of a lot.
No,
of
but
young
you just
players.
said a 15-year period, but every team goes through it. Man United.
And plus, and again, Chelsea's another anomaly because
Man
Chelsea
United
just
went
always
through a
spending
period.
money like idiots.
But Man United went through a period when McAdoo and them man come through, and everyone thought he's going to be the next flipping Van Nistelrooy. And where is he now? Every team, but it's hard for academy players to bust at these top clubs.
You might be right. I mean, if it does feel a little bit like if your bridge and jumped off a bridge with you, because it's like, who cares if them lot are crap? We should still want to care about us. I think we should have more players coming through our
We don't
academy.
have a crap academy,
knocking
though,
on the door.
If we had a crap academy, we wouldn't have all of our players getting touted for loans and for cash
Not
prize.
crap. I just struggle to see how any of our players truly make a difference in the first team. But
how would they though, bro? When our first team's world class, as we said.
I was gonna say, because we're chasing a Man City, we ain't even really got time for to bed in always like these youngsters and bring them through. We haven't got the time. Remember, Jim, you said it's all like you ain't got time for. Well, we ain't got. How much time do we really have?
But
Klopp's peak years, yeah, to really try and burst through every under 20.
But you lot have said it to me in the past, like with Foden and others. The cream rises to the top.
All right, here's the thing, though.
Trent.
If we were 8th in the league, for example, batting 8th, I guarantee you Bradley would have got more of a chance. Owen Beck would have 100% got more of a chance. Clarkson probably would have. Jack Byrne would have probably got more of a chance. But right now we can't.
But do you truly believe, hand on heart, those players are good enough?
As in play for Liverpool? Probably not, no. But
that's the point I'm making, bro. Forget whether they've had a chance or not. They're not good enough anyway.
No, that doesn't mean they're not good enough, bro. We're one of the best teams in the world, bro.
Bro, if you don't believe they can play, bro, they're not good enough.
But hold on, Drift. How many players do you rate out there but would never be able to get into Liverpool, City, or Real Madrid starting 11 or their squad? Doesn't mean they're not good enough, bro.
Player, though, isn't it?
No, but it's even more difficult to be an academy player. If you're an established player, you've got more of a chance because you've got a catalogue, you've got experience behind you. It's hard, bro.
No, it is hard. I just don't believe any of our academy players are truly good enough. And it's a little bit disappointing. That's all.
When you say good enough, if you're talking about for Liverpool, you might be right. If you're talking about just for general Premier League teams, I do think they can go and play.
Oh, I even mean general Premier League, bro.
No,
like, all those players that you just named, I don't really know how many of them truly would go to an Aston Villa or somebody or a West Ham and like get in the team. I don't know, but I don't think any of them would. I really don't, bro. Like, but I don't know.
So, guys, before we wrap up, who else do you guys see us moving on in the transfer window?
Do you know there's still a yeah, well, at the players you mentioned, or just other people that even came to my mind.
In general,
do you know what? I still think maybe Ox, you know, maybe, and not only this is a surprise for people. Maybe Naby Keita, because I'm gonna be honest. I agree with what Drift was saying in terms of like, if we've got 2 players that are if we've got 2 players, yeah, that are got a year left, yeah, is it right to let them both see out their contracts, knowing that, you know what I mean? Like, we could have done something maybe this summer. So I actually feel like Ox and Naby potentially could still leave. If the offer is good enough, I think Liverpool would actually think about it, especially for Naby. Ox, I think, is a shoo-in because we're not offering him a new deal anyway. So I think those 2 midfielders, you know what I mean? You never know.
Drift, do you agree?
Nah, Naby ain't going nowhere. Possibly Ox. But here's the thing. What worries me is Naby's the player that if he left, I think would give the club the kick up the bum to buy a player. Ox leaving, I think they just wash their hands of it and we're just a midfielder down. So I don't mean this in a shady way. I feel like Naby's the one that needs to go, so we buy somebody. Does that make sense? Like if Ox goes, they just let him go. If Naby goes, they realize they need to buy someone. So unfortunately, that means Naby needs to go for us to improve. So yeah, it's a difficult one.
Oh boy, let's get through these super chats. Math says Saka's first season was 11 assists at left back, very respectable. That's extremely respectable. Himanshu says rate these in Premier League era: Hazard, Mane, Son, Sterling.
Mane, Hazard, Son. No, Mane, Hazard, Sterling, Son.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's very. I wouldn't sit here and cuss anyone if they said Hazard above Mane.
Yeah, facts.
I wouldn't cuss anyone who says Son above Sterling either.
I would have a situation with that.
Would you?
Yeah.
No, but Sterling, then it goes into the quality of the team. Son in that Man City team would have done as well as Sterling.
Sterling broke through the.
But is Son a purple patch player though?
Yeah, 17. Sterling's been doing it in the Prem since he's been 17. You know, that's 10.
I know,
years.
but if you look at the Tottenham side, I still think Son's been at a disadvantage.
No, but Drift, he's been doing it for a decade, and he could potentially have another 6 years in him.
You can't rate that one.
Well, as you just showed, some of his seasons have been quite poor, statistically, anyway.
Yeah, and I agreed. But out of 10 seasons, you'd say 8 were very good, if not world class. Some of them. That's not bad at all.
Son's quite underrated still, but
Chuameka says, I think nostalgia with fans is crazy. We want Bellingham because we see him as the next Gerrard. Honestly, I'm not convinced. I think Barella's the one. I hear that. Mr. Dare I Say It Drift says, who we selling to get Jude? Nowhere we spend between 80 and 130 mil and not selling anyone. I have huge suspicions that Jota, Tsimikas are getting ready to be sacrificed. They better not be. They better not be. Mr. Dare I Say It says, Ox, Naby are useless to me as the tissue I use. Oh, that's harsh.
Bloody hell.
Tissue, you know.
That is harsh.
Mario says, Klopp loves Elliot. He will win Young Player of the Year. He will be fire. I hope so. El Conquistador 23 says, Kante is washed, bro. I don't agree that he's washed.
Some Chelsea fans do say that he's washed, but
I think he might have been one of those players that fell into the category of needing a rest. I'm going to see how he performs after this summer.
He definitely ran for 5 years more than anybody in world football, so I give him
anyone in life. More than anyone in life. Villain says, big up Kopish. Concerns about the quality of depth rather than the quantity. Who would be the equivalent of Fab if he's injured? It'd have to be Hendo.
Would have to be Hendo, unfortunately.
No, I think Hendo does a good job at that.
No, let me say unfortunately, but what I mean is
Yargo's injury is the one that always worries me because there's nobody in this team that fills in if he's not playing.
Well, effectively, that's what Naby should be doing.
Yeah, but obviously Naby's availability is sketchy as well, so that's what the worry is. That's what I'm saying.
Naby availability was all right, though.
I'll be honest, for the last year and a half, Naby's availability has actually been decent.
It's been good, bro.
That's even more scathing on him then. If he only played 1,500 minutes and he's like been available, then that's even worse.
No, I played more than that.
No, he didn't, Matt. Cal brought the thing up, bruv. He played 1,500 minutes, bruv.
What, in the Prem or?
In the Prem. He only played 1,500 minutes in the Prem, bro. Cal brought up the thing, bruv.
But if that is true, and if that's the case,
and in comparison, Matt, Henderson played 3,800.
But I'm not gonna lie, is that Naby's fault or is that Klopp being like, I'm not playing him because I want to play Henderson, Thiago?
But there's got to be a reason Klopp's not playing him, though, right?
Yeah, surely. Because he's got his favourites, bro.
It can't only be favourites. It can't only be favourites.
Sam says a short-term contract extension had been because Klopp is grooming Millie for a coaching position and his leadership, not ability. That's true as well. Time will tell, though, because I do see us playing Milner quite a lot. Chris says, any members videos this week? Any guests? Chris, you know the answer to that one. Julian says Naby and Nunes link up is going to be tasty. Can't lie. Be intrigued. Bayesian Barnes says Ox at this point is not good enough. It should have been sold. Now he's injured again, and we get $1 for him. Naby had an okay season, but should be sold. I don't think Ox can be sold now with this hammy injury.
Yeah, it's so, like I said, you just got to write it off now. The ownership just have to write the Ox thing off, man, and you know what I mean.
Bayesian Barnes says even the grass injured Naby, man. I'll never forget that when we were live, we were doing a watch long for that. I'll never forget that night. Couldn't believe
Listen,
it.
just because I'm not on screen, I can still hear the slander.
Messi FC says from Nat Dini to Nat Chesky. No, they're not in the same boat. Nat's clear of Konchesky still. Put some respect on Nat's name still. Mr. Dare I say it says if we get anything less than 20-25 mil for what we're getting, we're getting ripped. Nathan, who just relegated with Burnley, went for 25 mil to Wolves as a backup. That's Julian Ward's job. NJ says Hendo's better than Fab in the 6. You're sleeping on him. I massively disagree.
Bro, I think that brother's just sleeping in general.
I massively disagree. Hendo's very good in the 6, but Flacco's world class.
Flacco in the 6.
Flacco's world class, man. Selection. Does Drift even watch Academy enough to have a base a valid point? There's lots of talent. My concern is they all need to bulk up big time. That is a fair point. You should. I don't think you have.
I see enough to know they're not good enough. I don't watch as much as other people, maybe.
What's
but
enough?
I see enough to know they're not good enough. Like once you've watched 4 or 5 games of somebody, and then you see them make a break into the first team and don't really make the step up, you can make a quite educated guess on whether that person is good enough or not. I'm not saying you get it right or I'm right. I'm just saying. And I'm still waiting for anybody, even in the chat, for somebody to tell me what academy player truly will break into the first team.
The argument was if they're good enough for the Premier League or to be.
No, that became the argument afterwards. The initial argument was they're not good enough to play for us.
No, that's.
And I don't think any of them are.
I mean, you could do that with City and Chelsea, though. That doesn't mean their academy players aren't good. Just means the leveling jump is too high.
We'll see, innit?
Promo says, who are you picking, Valverde from Real or Bellingham?
That's a tough one, actually.
Might have to go. If we're talking about right now, Valverde is better than Bellingham.
Valverde's ahead in his development still.
Yeah.
Valverde is very good. This was not, that weren't me. I just noticed. That ain't me. That's not me.
Like I said before, just because I'm not on screen don't mean to say I don't know who's doing what in it.
That's not me. That wasn't me.
It's cool. Drift is hurt because Naby's taking Henderson's spot. Just a bit hurt, that's all.
Bayesian Barnes says grass to Naby. Naby, are you okay? Are you okay, Naby? All love, Matt.
Let's see who gets the last laugh with Naby Keita as a better season than Henderson. We move.
Can I ask you a question then, Drift?
Of course you can.
If Nunes over in his first 5 games in the league throws up stinkers, are we within our rights to say he's rubbish?
No. Come on, Naby's been here for 4 years.
No, I said Nunes, bro.
Yeah, but I'm saying Nunes needs to at least be here for about 12 to 18 months before he's truly judged. Naby's been here 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. So how can we judge an academy player based on 4 or 5 games then, bro?
No, but that's different, Cal, because when you're an academy player and you're used to the culture of the club, and usually it means that you've grown up in the country, you know the language, etc. If you get given that moment, if you can't grab it once, fair enough. But if you're given 2, 3, 4, and again, I'm not saying these players are crap. I'm not saying they're crap. I'm just saying I look at them and I look at a Morton or a Bradley and these guys, and I don't think they're crap players. They're not crap players, but I look at them and I just think, you're just not good enough to play for Liverpool. You will never elevate Liverpool. And it's just a little disappointing. remember, there was a massive gap in between. Don't get me wrong. We had a massive gap, which again is maybe an indictment on the youth system. But bro, I'm used to McManamans and Fowlers and Owens and Gerrards. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm used to us bringing through young, talented players. And it's just a little bit annoying that other than Trent, in the last, say, 10 to 15 years, there just truly hasn't been that player that's come through and just like, what a player. Like, he's just going to get in. He's just so brilliant. Rare. I'm just a little frustrated. Even if other people are on a similar trajectory, fair enough. Other than Chelsea, I think Chelsea, like, is just ahead of everyone. But with Liverpool, man, you would just like to think that, especially when we've got this kind of cheap ass mentality of never wanting to spend a lot of money, you would just think Liverpool would just have a little bit more oomph in the academy to bring through these young players that even if you go on and sell them and make the money for this thing we've got to do, this rotating money out before we can bring money in thing, I just think, you know what I mean? I just see the Billy Cometios and the Reece Williams and I'm just like, these guys get bigged up and we're told they're going to be brilliant players. And I'm like, you've got to be lying to us. This has got to be PR. These guys ain't good enough.
Of course it was PR. We all know
These guys
that.
ain't good enough, man. They're just not good enough. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Even Brewster, no shade on the kid, but what he's proved since he left Liverpool, he probably just weren't good enough in the first place. We were told Brewster was going to bust through and be this great guy. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just get a little bit like, where's the academy?
Went to the wrong club. Went to the wrong club.
He probably did, but, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Little Man said English players should go on loan to Italian teams so their game slows down. Players like Curtis needs his game to slow down before breaking in. I hear his sentiment, but I think it's the opposite for Curtis. I think he needs to go somewhere and speed up his decision making. I think he'd get lulled into a full sense of security if he went to Italy. And again, Italy's not as slow as people think anymore either. It's quite a fast-paced league.
Yeah, it isn't. I agree with that.
Bassett says, off topic, who remembers Asaidi? Guy vanished. I thought Asaidi was going to be the next flipping Ben Arthur. He
definitely had good skills in that. I don't know what happened to him.
Don't know what happened between him and Brendan. That was basement treatment if I've ever seen it. Troy M says, nah, if Curtis closed the game down anymore, he'll be running backwards on the pitch.
I'm not even going to get involved in Curtis London because that's my guy. But
Top G says, Nunes is a high-value man. How old are you? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. People, we are going to wrap up there. Do follow us on social media to see when we'll be next going live. So you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So make sure you go and follow us on there. We are also on the road to 30K as well, people. So please subscribe if you're new to the channel. I checked the stats the other day, guys, and like a good 40% of people who watch us regularly aren't subscribed. All you got to do is click a button.
Come on, guys.
Costs nothing to click a button, so please do click a button, subscribe, do smash the like button if you haven't, and also even if you're watching this after it's gone out live, make sure you get involved in the comment section and have a good little debate as well, people. But yeah, make sure
a couple of people are talking about the watch along. We should be back for the watch along on Thursday, guys.
Yeah,
so don't worry about it.
We should be back
and
for that.
Hopefully on Wednesday we'll have I don't want to get too excited, but I think we could have a little something for the people on Wednesday, which will be fun.
So just keep an eye on social media, people, if you haven't already. And hopefully we sign another player, but just saying, one more player, please, or two, please.
I feel like Oliver right here, bro. Please, sir.
But no, as always, people, it's a pleasure. Till we see you next time. Stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish and we're out, people. Take care.
Peace.